free reign. Talk to me. We're gonna hit a beat and talk about my Eve. Everybody, you
Oh,
know what I say.
God.
I'm gonna do a beat.
Make it stop.
Rain?
It's
Why?
time to stop.
Why did you?
Rock, paper, scissors, right? We don't want Eve to be as simple as shut the fuck up, Seto!
Floods of like memes, and these small gangers are like, we're the elite of the elite. Do not fuck with us. We will kill you. We are the best players ever. It's like, dude, I did your shit. I did it better than you did.
You know what this conversation is like? When I say not enough supers die in Delve, and people tell me, oh, look, there's a super died in Delve. So it's like, when I'm
What are
talking
you
about
even
the balance
talking
issue,
about? We were talking about fucking balance, not supers
Yeah.
dying in Delph.
Look,
Why does
look.
everything with you have to be about supers fucking dying in
Shut
Delph?
up! Shut up!
Christ!
It's an analogy, moron. It's an analogy. Okay?
You guys stop arguing. You act like a fucking married couple. Jesus
It's-
Christ.
No, don't stop arguing.
It's an
Well, it
analogy.
is Trash Talk
I
Tuesday.
was like,
Ladies and gentlemen and gender neutralists, welcome to Trash Talk Tuesday. It is hosted by me, Big Bill the Boss, and my co-host.
Hello, I'm Rain. Rowdy Rain the Rampager, or whatever you called me.
Real Rain the Rough Rider. And we're joined here by our guests, Blazing Bunny, Redline XIII, Brother Bob the Boss, Typharian, Loki, Choco Chips, and Villy. But first, we're going to get into a prepared speech by Blazing Bunny himself. I ask that you, if there's any negative references to Imperium, please refer to them as the Lollipop Guild, and to any Blue Coalition as the papillomavirus. You may go.
I also want to point out that I find it very ironic for a guy who used to LARP to call somebody Elf Boy, but we can come back to that later.
That was last week's topic.
I don't care. I can bring it back up again. So the entire reason I wanted to come on today is to give my official statement on behalf of my corp about the events that happened the 9th of June, whenever we were unceremoniously commissaried by Alliance exec Vince Draken for being, quote, traitors to the Alliance, and that they would be, quote, switching their focus to killing everything that we have and making sure we were on the same tier as goons. I'd like to say that the radical action was completely unwarranted and done without speaking to any directors or corp CEOs. Vince pinged at 2200 Eve, 5 p.m. Central, that our corps would be hostile 3 hours later. This decision was made in haste after talking to multiple of our directors about possibly trying to discuss what, our move later. I'd like to bring up that this wasn't a premeditated plan like Vince claimed it was months and months in advance. This all came to be. It was a random idea thrown out over one of our directors, Lois' wedding on the 25th of June. I believe that was that weekend.
It was.
Basically, we've thrown around some ideas, talked about the war, and all of us were a little bit dissatisfied, and we noticed that a lot of people in Sinners were kind of taking a backseat and were, for good reason, worried about the future health of our corporation, decided that we needed to make a change. So between the three of us, we came up with some ideas and refined it leading up to the 6th of July, whenever we got back and had our meeting with the directors. So the plan was to give ourselves 2 full weeks, take a corp meeting on the 7th of July, tell everybody in the corp that we're, this is the plan. Do you guys want to do it? Yes or no? Get a unanimous yes, and then tell Alliance leadership the Saturday after. There was no point. Did we steal anything? We didn't AWACS anybody. We didn't mirror forums, and we didn't leak any private DMs. But yet, on Friday, the 9th of July, we were commissaried for no reason. This basically took a plan that we had planned out over 2 full weeks to move out peacefully and let everybody know, crunched into 3 hours, and then following several backpedals 3 days. I just wanted to come on and verify that, like I said, we didn't do anything wrong. We did not poach anybody. We didn't steal anything, despite myself and Bob having, characters in the Holding Alliance. We didn't mirror any forums, despite or Discord, despite the fact that we could have definitely, we had access to a lot of restricted intel. Did nothing wrong, yet we were treated worse than some of the other corps that have left NC Dot and joined hostile alliances, like Cinda or Her or even MVN who left to join Snuff, and I'm pretty sure they dread bombed us after that. But somehow, after all the work and all the time that we spent in NC Dot over the 4 years, I want to say, we still got treated like fucking shit, and it was real scummy, and it's kind of burnt a lot of bridges on the way out. Although, I will say, on the back half of that, the amount of support that's come out of the rest of the coalition, our friends and allies, in the other alliances has been outstanding. And I'd like to say thank you to all those people. You know who you are. I'm not going to leak your names so you don't get, yelled at by your alliance leaders, but we won't forget it.
Are you
Is that the
taking
end?
questions?
Yeah, I'll answer any questions as long as I'm not going to leak DMs
Wait.
and I'm not going to leak plans.
Before
Uh,
you take questions, I do have to announce that now that Bunny has given the official statement on what happened, the meme gates are open. The
Did you
memes
guys-
are allowed.
Okay, my first question is: did all of Sinners join, or did you guys have people who weren't on board with this?
So the plan was to get a full court vote the 7th, whenever we did the meeting. However, Bob went around and made sure everybody was going to say yes ahead of time. Made sure that the interest was there before we, decided one way or the other. Kind of stacking it, like why hold a vote if you don't know what the result's going to be, which is kind of a meme in itself. But at the time, people were asked 3 separate times if they would be interested in leaving the alliance. Not necessarily where we were going, because we were saving that for the pitch on the 7th. But if we decided to leave the alliance, what would your intentions be so we can facilitate people's moves? Everybody each time said that they were interested, including a unanimous yes vote the 7th. With one exception that it isn't worth talking about.
I was just curious.
I didn't. What was that corp that jumped straight from T5ZI into 1DQ without telling anybody?
Ukraine
I fed.
Federation.
Yeah, we didn't do that. We weren't about to get everybody fucked over. We planned for everybody to have enough time to consolidate their assets and move their shit out of drones, out of Delve, everything, without anybody getting anything stuck. It would have been plenty. Initially, it would have been plenty of time, but now we had to asset safety some stuff. We had to rush through an extraction. Yeah.
So to turn things on a more like a happier note, are y'all excited about shifting towards? It seemed like y'all are more focused on the small gang, like kind of. I hate to use the term elite PvP, but like I noticed Pittsburgh liked Loki doctrines and more skill leveled small group gangs. Is that what y'all gonna try to focus on in the future?
So we have a couple plans that we've talked out with the NSH leadership. I'm not going to talk about them just yet because it'll make the news, I assure you. But yeah, there's plans in the work there. Everybody between both Corpse, Original Sinners, and Criterion, there's a lot more excitement now than we did back than we had in the war so far.
Yeah. Actually, I'd like to add a thing or two about Criterion, just so people don't assume anything. Not that we're important enough for assumptions, but anyway.
We do exist.
Yeah, we are here. We didn't get actively. It wasn't like this shady super poach. We also were not trying to backstab anyone. We basically were waiting to tell everyone until Sinners had, because they have significantly more assets than we do. We didn't want to accidentally screw them over or any of that. And we never got the chance. We hadn't even gotten done telling our members what was going on when the pings started going out. So I think we were probably caught a bit more by surprise than Sinners were in some ways in that department.
Well, we
So-
hadn't even. I don't even think we had fully decided that we were going. Like, we had the meeting, we had the vote, but nobody had ever said, like, okay, we're doing this.
Once the vote happened, it was.
I hadn't
It was
even
hell.
heard that you guys had told anyone at that point.
So I know a lot of folks are probably aware that Original Sinners and Criterion are leaving NCDOT, but do you guys want to clarify where you're going and the reasons why you're leaving?
Well, for us, we're both going to the same place, but for us, we actually came to NC Dot from NSH when they kind of went into an inactive period. What was it, 2 years ago? So going back isn't exactly a big jump for us.
And then we decided on NSH because a NER approached us about some opportunities that we could take and people we could kick in the face that we've always wanted to fight. Not to mention that NSH and especially like Oops and all those corps, a couple of the big, not saying that not all the corps in NSH aren't important, but there's a lot of those guys that we've had working relationships in, like Ken Cash and all that jazz. Like we fought an entire war alongside,
And Great Wildlands.
or quote. Yeah, we fought in Great Wildlands, we fought in Cash, Bob and the crew fought alongside them way before I did. So not to mention, we're about to make one gigantic spooky ass US time zone alliance.
Yeah, that's a pretty big, big nasty little USTZ you got there going on. And NSH is probably one of the biggest. If they're, I'd say they're probably top 5 now, right?
I have no idea. To be honest, I'm not. I've been so locked in on what's going on with the war. Haven't really paid attention to what groups are out there in the smaller, scale. So I couldn't even tell you if there's a one. They have to be one of the largest, if not before, definitely now.
And they don't have any Euros, and that kind of bumps them up the list a bit anyway.
Fuck Euros. Oh, sorry.
Damn,
say that on
fucking
stream.
straight.
So
Wait,
what was
Jackie.
what was no longer exciting about this war for you?
I don't want to, but yes, I do want to place the blame on a single person. Once certain people decided that they didn't want to, that they weren't going to form, that a certain strategy that they decided was the way they had to fight, and there was no other way to do it, and you couldn't tell them any other way, which kind of sums them up as a person. Honestly, the fucking stubbornness, the narrow-headed, the cowardice fucking that is the leader of Shiva is one of the reasons that made us deciding on leaving way easier.
And what's that guy's name? I seem to forget.
It's
if
you want anybody, if you want someone to look at for the back from the right before New Year's for the M2 structure timer all the way to the fucking to now, that's who I would get angry at.
Nidaspar. I thought that was a meme name at first. I've never even paid attention to this guy.
Nidaspar, Ajax. I don't know. He has a bunch of fucking alts.
He's really just
Ajax.
He's really just some no-name FC that loads Tremor and Munins for some reason.
Yeah.
So we don't really care about him too much.
The problem is, it requires jumping through a gate, which means you're fighting at close range, which means you can't use Tremor. I don't know how you guys know.
No, you see, the strategy is to jump in the gate, feed while you're burning off the gate, while having Tremor loaded, and you're white-knuckling, not calling any targets. Then once you're far enough away, then you come back in and start sniping nothing, because you have Tremor loaded. So
Wait. I've heard the narrative talk about like how Villy's the big bad guy and Gobbins and Progod and all these other random people, but you're saying it's Nidaspar. Are you saying Imperium has their spin wrong?
Have you watched the show WandaVision?
No.
Okay, well, in the show WandaVision, it's revealed that it was so-and-so all along. I'm not going to tell you who it is for spoilers, but it's kind of like that.
I have some really interesting perspective to add here. It's probably never discussed, I guess, in public at all. From being in, I guess, Pappy command team last several months. But see, there's a lot of different things between Pappy and Imperium. Imperium's 2 alliances, basically. Sorry, Bastion, but it's basically goons and it. I mean, and they're able to ping each other. They can join each other's fleets. So it's really easy. Like if Asher wants to form, Asher pings. If Altari wants to form, Altari ping. And every alliance gets to ping. We created this Pappy Discord, right? Several months ago. Gobbin's idea, I don't know if it was Gobbin's idea, but he made it happen. Really good idea, right? So that if, say, Horde needs to form, a Horde SC can ping everybody. Or if a Test SC needs to form, it can ping everybody. Well, the ping goes out, but doesn't mean everybody joins the fleet. I'm going to use Test for example, right? I mean, Villy's pretty much the main guy in Test, right? If Villy pings, you're looking at 100, 200 people in fleet, regardless of time zone. If you get, say, a newer FC, like, I'll use Jeremy for example, very active, younger FC, he's not going to get 200 people. Well, same thing happens in the Pappy deal, right? People look at these Pappy pings, and they're like, oh, I'm not going to go on that guy's fleet. Or, hey, it's my alliance's FC, and they'll go. So, in Pappy, even though we have this tool to reach out to all the pilots, or I'm not there anymore, have this tool to reach out to all the pilots, not everybody goes on the fleets. So you still have to go poke the other alliances. Like if Bunny wants to form NC, he still needs to go find a Horde FC, he needs to find a Test FC, find a PL FC, find a Legacy FC. Ideally 2. There's a couple really active ones right now, Legacy. So you got to get 5, 6 people on board to go for a timer. And if you want to go aggressive and like say attack a Fortizar in 3D, right? Or I'm just for example, if you want to really commit heavy, you have to convince 5 or 6 people all at the same time that your idea is a good idea and they should go. Whereas goons is just one person. I mean, I assume, right? But probably 1 or 2 people, then they can go. If one group doesn't want to go and they have a lot of the players, it's a big problem. NCEUTZ is a very big group. A lot of strong players, a lot of experienced players, a lot of Titans and Dreads. 20 to 25% of EUTZ on a max form should be NC. Well, if NC doesn't want to go, it fucks everybody else over. I can't tell you how many times I'd see headliner form and then like NC wouldn't form, right? Well, PL's not that much smaller than NC and EU. But if 25% of your fucking team doesn't show up, I mean, you're fucked, dude. Even if you get some badass form up and Tess gets some badass form up, you get fucked. But you get guys like, I'm using Nidaspar for example. He just wouldn't want to do stuff because it wasn't his idea. And I don't want to talk about Nidaspar because his head will blow up. He's being talked about. But he's probably the single greatest inhibitor to Pappy having any sort of chance of taking 1DQ currently. I think everybody else is trying. They're committed to some degree. But you get people that are afraid or won't work with others, and there's no way you're going to succeed. If you get like a smaller alliance, they don't want to participate, not a big deal. But, you know, and the same thing could happen in another time zone, right? Let's say late AU. Let's say Frat just didn't want to come, right? They decided to not show up. That's not the case. Let's say that was just their stance. Like, oh, right, we're not going to form, we're not going to try. It would totally fuck the rest of everybody over in Pappy. It's not the case. But in EU, it's very clear. You get this one in CFC that just doesn't want to try. He's fucking scared. In fact, he suggested to Vince that we stand down the alliance for a summer break without talking to anybody else on the NCFC command team. And then, I mean, hell, I found out, Bunny, like a day before the meeting, 2 days before, right? When I asked, hey, are we going to do stuff in EU? And his plan was no, what Vince said is no, we're going to do the opposite. Take the summer off. So there's currently no plan to even try for 1DQ until September.
How do you think that's going to play out? It's kind of just like a.
I think nothing's going to happen until September. And, you know, you got guys that want to try, right? Like I'm going to take Gobbins, for example. While not an FC himself, he's actively engaged in pushing to try to win. PGL is probably one of the few people that clearly wants to win and put in the planning and thinking to win. I think he was very, may not have seen him FCing every day, but he's very active making plans to try to win, find a way to win, to possibly win, right? Because for a lot of people, game's really boring right now. Not just Pappy side, Goon side too. I mean, it's probably fun having fleets just like gate into you and feed. I don't doubt that, right? But you got people that want to win. But in this case, EUTZ NC stood down. That's 20 to 25% of your whole coalition that's not going to try for 2 months. I mean, the Goon strat team could just take off for like 2 months. They could go to fucking Hawaii and go do whatever the fuck you do in Hawaii, like swim with dolphins and shit. And come back September 1st, knowing NC's not going to do shit, 20% of EU's out of the game. I mean, it's insane. I mean, you basically just agreed to not try to win, not for a weekend off, but for months. And with that kind of thinking, and people who think like that being allowed to make decisions, I don't see a path forward for Pappy to ever win.
Well,
you got to get rid of people to think like that.
A curiosity question. Maybe this is because I don't understand how NC structure works. But so I know Nidaspar's EU, but I also know Killabee's EU, and so is Vince. Why can't they take over?
Killabee has been a colossal disappointment. I've never been on a winning fleet with Killabee since he joined NC. He's a B or C tier, no blob FC at best.
Okay, but like, I mean,
he's completely inactive.
I guess my point was,
grinding in Fountain. That's
is Nidaspar calling all the shots, or is there anyone who can be like, hey, like I get you want this off?
Vince does not interfere.
Okay.
Nidaspar, I'm going to say
I didn't mean to roast certain people. I'm so sorry.
No, Killa sucks. I got no problem saying it. So in the last 3 years, there's probably been a dozen, we'll call it 15, EUFCs come from other alliances, right? Some really good ones that I like. I'm going to say Arky Nerps, for example, from Horde. He was like the main Horde EUFC 2 years ago. The guy was fantastic. But Nidaspar, this guy who's somehow in charge of NC EUTZ, he's just, he doesn't work with anybody. He lacks the necessary social skills and leadership skills to actually lead and be in charge. It's like a gas station manager, right? Like they're in charge, but they suck at it and they can't talk to anybody else. This still's happening with NC. We get these European FCs to come over, and a lot of them are really good. Yes, Vlad, I agree. Helios is decent, but Nidus doesn't communicate with anybody. It's like, it's not that he doesn't want to. I think it's just subconsciously impossible. Like genetically or mentally, something's wrong with them. And because of this, all these FCs just fucking leave NC. We've had so much FC talent in and out the door in the last 3 years since I took over the USTZ FC program, and they all leave, and it blows my mind. But we took the total opposite approach in USTZ. You see 2 people in comms right now, Redline and Blazing Bunny, that we got from from other alliances, right? And then Bunny came over to some different corp, got him into SCing. Hey, dude, come on, like, get involved. So our US approach has been, hey, let's recruit people, recruit talent, and fucking get them on the front lines. And if they feed some, who cares? Like, they learn and get better and grow. The NC AUTZ has done fantastic. They poached a bunch of FCs, have a really stacked team. But the EU team is basically Nidaspar and a guy named Ryzak, who's a Swede. He's really good, does a lot of like the Black Ops stuff. Very successful niche FC. But everybody else just quits, man. They all just quit because
why
Nidus
not join
doesn't talk to them.
PL? Why
He
not join
also
PL?
smart bombs
Headliner's
hard.
like
Don't
Giga
forget.
Chad FC, right? And EU, why not join PL and be the US equivalent?
Yeah. Also, AMOC is recruiting. Hadn't y'all heard that?
Yeah.
It's because we were already approached by a nerd to go kill somebody we've always really wanted to kill the entire time ever since the war has started.
All right, as somebody who's not familiar with these politics, who is that?
I'm not leaking.
And
I
I
want to
know
kill
we're in.
somebody, but you won't say who.
Not
Yeah,
yet.
no.
Trust me, it'll be in
Okay.
the news.
Yeah,
Okay.
but they're fucking dead. So
Kale, Malachi, and
Are they in
Star are
this war?
fantastic. Just real quick, yeah, I agree.
Are they in the war? No.
Everybody's in the war, right?
No, they're not in the war. So
There is one.
Blazing.
Well, there's one group that I'm pretty sure we can talk out because we're just gonna bowl them the fuck over. But fuck.
Hold up. Hey, hold up, Bunny, before that. So we just roasted NC EU between Nidaspar and events for Nidus existing and events not like, I don't know, leashing his fucking dog, but whatever. I want to get some shout outs really quick to the Pappy team. There's some really strong people on the team. Maybe they're not, I mean, it just needs to be said, right? I'm going to say, first off, Headliner is an absolute, I mean, he's a unit. He's a total machine. He's getting after it constantly. He gets fucked over because guys like Nidus will be like, oh, I don't want to form for that because you want to go for it. So, Headliner will get fucked over because he didn't have EU support. But the guy's a monster. He's grinded, I think, every single keep in this whole war. He's been fantastic all around.
I think
Gerald
Headliner's
from
led
Horde,
more.
like he's in CapF. He stepped up a lot this war. One of the main EU strat FCs for Horde. He's doing fantastic. Zero Muskie. I'd say Zero Muskie is basically like the alpha male of, I'm going to call it, of Pappy USTZ right now. I think he's, if not the best, one of the best pound for pound FCs you're going to see anywhere, pretty much. He's always getting after it. Even if he whelps, if he gets his ass kicked, he forms 30 minutes later and goes back after it. The guy's a monster. People love flying with him. And yeah, I go on a Muskie fleet. I should probably get a Horde alt so I can still go on a Muskie fleet. So every now and then. Yeah, some Muskie bathwater to be good. There's another FC I want to give a shout out to who stepped up a lot in the last few months. I didn't know him before. Arcadio Soul, he's over there in Severance. You goons probably see him in 3D all the time. He does those wolf fleets and stuff, late EU, early USTZ, constant harassment, attacking presence, which a lot of people in Pappy thought and still think, hey, so we should have been doing this smaller scale, constant harassment stuff. And Arcadios has been basically he's been a model FC. He's what other FCs should want to be. So I just want to give some shout outs real quick. So I just spent fucking 10 minutes roasting Nidaspar. But
yeah, but it was so good.
There's some really strong talent on the Pappy side. I think they have the tools to win at whatever conditions you call victory. But with the current, I guess, structure of who's in charge and who's allowed to make decisions, those tools can't be put to the right use. You got to get the Nidaspars out of the way. You got to get people that hold other people back out of the way. If you want to win, you got to be willing to do what's necessary to win. You can't just sit around and be scared of Mr. V logging in. Which, by the way, Nidaspar is afraid of Mr. V. I don't know if you guys know this, Goons. Now you know this. you could probably just like have Mr. V is typing in a Discord somewhere every couple hours, and then as far be shook. The whole fucking last 8 months, anytime V logged into comms or he fucking typed anywhere or logged in, there was just this constant flurry of excuses from Nidaspar, this fucking jellybacked Finn, and he would just be like, "Oh man, we can't. V might form." Can't tell you how many times I read V might form, but Mr. V is the boogeyman in Nidaspar's mind. So goons, my only advice to you, if you want to win, clone V, get V clones, deploy them everywhere. Yeah, and just be active with V clones. You'll NC will be NCU will be muzzled. He'll be able to do anything because the guy's fucking shook to the core.
Can you repeat what you called him? Him being Nidaspar there? Was that a jelly-backed Finn that I heard?
Yes, a jellyback, like no spine. There's just jelly there. Yeah.
God, V's gonna stroke one out of that.
That's all I got. Anyways, so yeah, Pappy, you want to win? Get rid of Nidaspar. Goons, you want to win? Keep V. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Are those the only 2 major contenders in this war? Is that it?
I'd say those are the 2 biggest, the people with the most shift available if their position changed. V leaves because I'm not gonna lie, like I never heard of V, right? I'm pretty new to nullsec relatively, right? Like some people here, but he's good. And the main NC UFC shook to the core of the guy. So yeah, Goons keep V, Pappy, get rid of Nidus.
Calling them contenders is a bit of a stretch. It's like, what was that UFC fight between the YouTuber and like McGregor or something?
Don't give that guy publicity. That dude's a piece of shit.
He is, but see how it still applies.
We're talking game though.
I mean, you went on such a long riff there. I kind of lost my place on questions.
Sorry, man. Sorry.
I'm not complaining. That was great.
So good. That's what I got out of that.
Well, we have a lot of friends in Pappy. I think they need to know why we're fucking not able to win. Like, there's a lot of effort, a lot of people putting in effort, and you just got trash that's fucking holding everybody back.
Sorry, Bob. I think that's
for the last 4 years, dude. Like,
I think that's a good question though, right? Like a lot of people have been asking, well, what's the impact to Pappy, right? Like this big important group within NC leaves. What's the impact to Pappy? Do you think Pappy can still win? I mean, besides your recommendations, just overall, do you think there's potential there? Or do you think like you guys are the backbone and you left?
Not until September. I mean, that's pretty clear. That decision was made already. Like, there will be no victory till September. So you'd have to ask that question in 2 months and see how the map looks. I think Pappy still has enough talent to win. But will that talent be utilized? Will the people that are preventing victory be moved out of the way? People making bad decisions. Nidus is one of the guys that decided to jump in multiple Titan fleets to M2 to 5,600 people, and the biggest loss in the history of EVE. Nah, that was a group decision. I think Billy was in on that one, right? Billy, were you there? Billy?
I was there.
AOE blame. Jesus.
I wasn't there, so nobody was like, hey, Bob, is this a dumbass idea? I would have said yes, but Billy, you were there. It's been months. What happened? Did you say go or no go?
Somebody say go.
Yeah, Billy's afraid Vince is going to purge him. Wow.
Purge him from what? He's not an NC.
In the end, it was a group decision.
So the point is, the decision makers need to change because the current decision-making team is unable to make the right ones. I'm going to go with that.
Well, goddamn, how the fuck do any of us follow that, Bob? Like,
I don't know, but you're at like 400 viewers, so you're fucking welcome.
You were just supposed to come on and talk about the stuff, and you did all of the things, and I'm so pleased.
Did you expect anything less?
I didn't.
People will always tune in for drama, and this is high drama.
I don't think it's drama. I think it's like a fucking enjoyable podcast. It's like...
Oh no, I just want to call out that there are no women in this drama, and so anytime dudes bring up women in drama, just take note. Of this
there are
Lady Scarlet.
Wait, no, we don't talk about Lady Scarlet. We love Lady Scarlet.
I very much like her as well.
Yeah,
she's a nice lady, but she is technically involved.
I mean,
how so?
Tangentially.
She's in NC leadership, so she's been in conversations as far as I understand. Nice lady though. Nothing.
So, a couple questions. Who actually is the CEO of Sinners? I don't actually even know.
That's a great question. Yeah, that's a great question, actually. We're cloud managed.
Not cloud.
That's almost unfortunately correct. It flips between Caspa and Sindel. It might change in a couple months. We might give it to.
Wait, who are those names?
I don't actually know Caspa's username. To be honest, I have no idea.
How the fuck did we get a hype train going? Holy shit.
Reminder to follow, like, subscribe, and retweet. Wait,
yeah,
Billy's usually good at this. Billy, do the plug.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Trash Talk Tuesday, where we talk shit and some people get hit. If you are one of those people that like to see people get hit that like and subscribe button, hit that Twitch Prime button, show some love to your beautiful co-host, to your beautiful host, your financially beautiful people that need some support. Give them some love.
Financially beautiful people.
So I can take it in YOLO on Wriggle Pharmaceuticals.
No, stop. Don't do that. So anyways, are there more questions that were prepared? Because I feel like we got a ton of the juice, but I kind of want more juice.
I just want to know why.
Check them fucking tits!
Like, brother, you mentioned earlier, like what type of effort, what kind of commitment is going to be needed in order to like really determine the outcome of this war?
He stepped away for a second.
Also, if anyone
right.
check them fucking tits! Meme storm.
Reddit's trash, dude. Stop.
Well, Bunny, weren't you there?
So some people are asking, and I feel like it's relevant for me to say. They're asking why Vince isn't saying anything. We couldn't actually have Vince on the show because we were afraid he'd use slurs on stream. So it's just not Vince Draken. So that's just where we are at this.
Although I would say after everything that's been said so far, I would expect a response from NC leadership within the coming week.
Has anyone actually read the pings in question on here, just in case people missed them?
There's no spies in NC, so we weren't able to get them. Can you share?
Hold on.
Yeah, I know I have a copy somewhere. There was supposedly a follow-up ping that I have not seen, but I do have the original one.
So there's a request in Twitch chat. We're asking Twitch chat for questions. So if you have questions, just like highlight your message or tag me or someone else here, me or Bill. But Wally Marts is requesting for Bob to show feet. I don't know if that's really a question, but I'll say
I
it
can
anyway.
say I've seen Bob's feet and they're quite nice.
That's just
what Wally always asks for.
That's just you making Wally jealous.
Did you give him feet, Billy?
So I don't know if people's asked for the ping, the original ping that started all this, but I will read it out loud since it's already been leaked to Reddit. It says, "At everybody at NC, I want to apologize in advance for the behavior of Brother Bob, which includes treason and a total disregard for the rest of the alliance. They have also been in talks for the last 2 days with Criterion and have made the decision to abandon this alliance and our family in PanFam. As such, I have taken the decision to brand both Criterion and Original Sinners as traitors, so with this in mind, we will be switching our entire alliance focus to these corporations and NSH. They have tried to facilitate this movement while I have been busy reopening society across the UK and Europe. So much I found out from everybody but those two. Oh my god, hold on.
The grammar, I know, those two groups.
Those in these two corporations who have frankly weak leadership and follow a sociopath. As these two corporations have behaved in such an underhanded and coward-like fashion as of 0001 tonight, they will be treated no different than anyone else who is hostile to us, and they will lose all access to NC and PanFam structures. This is likely to include anything owned by Tappy, which is a lie, to ensure we will remain true to ourselves and our history. I'll also be restricting their access to drone region citadels until further notice. Perhaps this might feel like a hardball reaction to a decision these corps have made. However, they have done so during a period of downtime and during a period of real-life rebuild. I am more than happy to discuss this with people individually."
I also have to clarify, as far as we understand, the sociopath he's talking about is Brother Bob, and I have to say I agree. That is definitely true.
Yeah, but I mean that's why we're all.
That came out of nowhere. I'd like to bring up that came out of nowhere. Like that wasn't following a DM. Like, hey, you guys need to talk. Give me, reach out and give me and talk to me. This was this is the first that a lot of us found out that we were going to get commissaried from the alliance was an at everybody ping that reads like that.
I believe I asked in Corp Discord if that was real. or if I was dreaming.
Yeah, I did that as well.
I saw a reference of somebody blaming Pittsburgh as well. Why did they pick Pittsburgh out of?
I think that's more of a meme. I personally have not seen anything to actually link Pitts to any of this.
To be fair,
That's
Pitts has
fair.
been
Pitts is in Sinners, right?
yeah, Pitts is
Other
in
than being in
Sinners, but
Sinners.
he's been out of town for the most of shit to the beginning of July. And
That
he was
poor
not
guy.
part of any of that decision making. And as far as I know, he wasn't informed about the choice of leaving the alliance or where we'd be where we would be going until the 7th to court meeting.
No, we got word to him. We did get word to him. I stepped away. Did you mention the fact that like? No, it doesn't even matter, dude. Vince didn't worth my time. Never mind. Go ahead, Rain.
No, go for it.
I have a handful of questions. So 2R2 Typherion and Criterion. One says, why is Criterion leaving? And the other is asking Typherion if you have ever found his parents. Sorry, words are hard.
His dad?
Sadly, we have not, because they're in another castle somewhere. Hopefully we'll find them with an SH.
Stop it.
As to why we're leaving, well, it's kind of seeing the writing on the wall. We're losing. If we stayed in NCDOT, we'd be losing all of our FCs in U.S. time zone. We're 100% U.S. time zone corp. We were in NSH 2 years ago and had an absolute blast killing space monkeys and fighting CVA. So when we find out Sinners is going to be moving, off we go.
Tits!
And also, we were kind of dead because the war has been kind of dead, and NCDOT just announced that we weren't going to be doing anything all summer. So are we going to sit there for 2 months in an already dead war zone, being even more dead? Hell no. We're going to go have some fun.
And then there was a question too about if you guys talked to NC leadership. So I know we mentioned Vince and then Lady Scarlet. Did you guys talk to them after the pings went out, sort of to figure all this out?
I can confirm that Criterion had no contact because, as far as other than with individuals, but I don't think we've had any leadership contact because the ping is kind of self-explanatory. If they're gonna brand us as traitors when we had just made a decision to move on. I think we made our decision less than 24 hours or a little more than 24 hours after before the pings went out. So like at that point, why bother talking? Like, fine, you've said your thing, you kicked us out, you're burning our access. Go screw yourselves. We're gonna go have fun.
A couple of the directors and Sinners reached out because there was already a standing agreement after speaking to Lady and speaking to Vince that two of our directors would go and talk to them prior to the move, because up until the point where Vince all pinged and said that we're dead to him and all that shit, we were still under the assumption that we would be exercising the same plan. We were going to move out farther on, like not even the next week, but the week after that, give them plenty of time to say their piece, either try to change our minds or try to not change our minds. And then instead, this is what and then in less than 2 hours from the last time we had heard from Vince and some of the other leadership at NC. This is what we got to see. This is what our members got to see. This is it. And it was literally came out of left field. It was pretty wild.
Well, definitely reinforced the choice. Like, I'm super glad I voted with the rocket ship, because imagine staying in NC after that ping goes out, and like the alliance leader is just branding your entire corporation and all your friends as traitors because they don't want to hang out with you anymore.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
I'm gonna follow up that with a question. Oh, first I see in chat where Pittsburgh said that he was away for training. I forgot Old Mecca doesn't play the game anymore, so he has to train in person, right, Pitts? But so do you expect any others to find issues with the current establishment things going on?
That was going to be my question. Do you guys feel like this is going to start a ripple effect?
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to start a ripple effect. I think that the people that are, if it does, it's probably not going to be as impactful as you want it to be.
And NC.'s USTZ was a bit on the small side, and a lot of the members that were in USTZ that weren't in Sinners or Cry were in corporations that are mixed EU and US, and they've been together a long, long time. So I don't expect anything, though we do have a Cry policy of, in the cases for this, is not poaching anyone or asking anyone or accepting anyone, because that would be backstabby, and we're not doing that. As much as Vince wants to say we did.
It's also a good. I mean, if it was me, right, and my corp was still in NC. And I watched this happen, having any kind of interaction with. I mean, obviously I may be kind of biased because I know a lot of the dudes in my own corp, but I would be kind of nervous. I don't know what the dialogue has been inside the leadership and director channels since then. I mean, I imagine Vince and Lady have probably smoothed a lot of that, you know, a little bit unease over. But to be honest, right? This you look at this story from the surface level. 2 corps left are talking about leaving because they want, you know, they want to go find a new content stream, especially the corps that have been there long enough to see the likes of Cinda and Here and Maverick Navy go unabated, right? In fact, fucking Cinda and Here jumped out of NC's super staging onto a hostile Fortizar and Oigenin when they left. But now, all of a sudden, just because these 2 corps want to leave and pursue their own goals, these guys are traitors. They're on the same level as goons in the Imperium and in the initiative. Like, what happened? So, I mean,
Yeah.
I can't really speak to the dialogue that's been going on inside the alliance because I'm not in the alliance anymore. But I mean, if it was me, I'd be a little bit nervous.
I will
think
say
traitors are worse than goons, though, right? Because I mean, we're just enemies.
Yeah, we don't see ourselves as the traitors. I think the fucking AFK Brit over in reopening European society that hasn't done shit since the M2 breakout and kicked out, let's call it 50% of his USTZ is a traitor to his own alliance. I mean, that's a pretty big fuck you to everybody else that plays in USTZ that's not in our 2 corps, right? Like, hey, no, you love these guys, but they're out. Because what? Because you didn't get your fucking way? I mean, that's the shit we make fun of all the other alliance leaders and FCs for, right? Throwing a temper tantrum, they don't get their own way. The whole thing is really disappointing, and I think it's undebatable Vince fucked up. And I think it's honestly, it's a sign of weakness, dude. I mean, I think he's
100%.
He's losing his hold on shit. You know, so we dethroned Sword Dragon. We ended GOTG, right? And part of our whole like rally cry, and because it was a meme deployment at first, right? But then we started winning, and then it was like we had Hapatino, and we're like, fuck, let's kill GOTG. Well, part of the whole deal is let's free these guys from these AFK. Careful with the word I use here. From these AFK alliance leaders that suck the fun and the talent out of the game. They don't fucking play the game. Like, it's cool if you want to be this like you know, kind of like Villy's very active FC alliance leader, right? Some people they don't FC, right? Like Gobbins, but he's around right now. He's around, right? Well, Vince isn't fucking around, dude. And Sort was never around. Those people are bad for the game. And if Goons ever get to that point, or Matani doesn't fucking play the game, I would say Matani. Oh, okay, separate discussion. I think Matani is bad for the game. But any place you are where your alliance leader doesn't play the game, you need to leave, and you shouldn't feel bad for leaving. It's like leaving a fucking job with a shitty boss. Like, not only do you get paid at work, but like you fucking pay to play Eve. Like, if you're a corp CEO, your alliance exec sucks, you should leave. And if you're scared, so Vince has always scared people, right? It's always been his thing. I can't, and Bunny can confirm this. He's in NC and Typherian, y'all are in director channels. Every fucking 2 months, there's some I'm gonna purge all you fucks, blah 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 thing from Vince, right? And how he's gonna purge everybody. He never fucking happens. Nobody gets purged ever, except for us, right? But nobody ever gets purged from NC. He just threatens people, and they get all scared. And they're like, "Ooh, what'll Vince say? What'll Vince say? What'll Vince say?" Well, I mean, in this case, Vince said he's gonna kick us, and we're like, "Okay, well, fuck you. We'll evac, and we've got more Titans than everybody else is gonna log in. So we got the guns. We're gonna go buy." I mean, Vince has basically ruled the alliance for years through fear, and it's really disappointing. And we always ignored him until last Friday, right? Basically, the threat was to kill us all. And we're talking about, what would you say, Bunny? 9-10 trillion in assets stuck in Delve, another trillion or so in drones, maybe 2.
More than that.
An insane amount, like
With
insane
what
amount
prices are at now. I mean,
of our members, our friends getting fucked over by some AFK dude I never fucking met in another country. I mean, fuck that noise, dude. Why in the world will we stick around? And more so, why would anybody else stick around seeing how that happens? I mean, it's the same reasons that we wanted to kick Sword out of, you know, the game. I think we should kick Vince out of the game.
Whew.
And actually, Bill, to double back on your original question, is are traders worse than goons? Do remember in that reading of the original ping, NC Dot is taking the summer off, but they're gonna redirect their full attention to these 2 corps and NSH, and yada yada.
Which they've since backpedaled off of. I would like to. That's the part that one of the more insulting aspects of all this is the fact you fucked up this entire we literally built a full week into this, into our, we'll call it a staged withdrawal, to use that term. Well, you really built an entire week into this, so we would talk. So none of the alliance leaders felt like we're just, throwing up the deuces and riding off to the sunset. So any questions, if they can say their piece to try to convince us to stay, whatever you want to do to give you the warm fuzzy, and then just, it was all thrown away whenever this guy's like, nah, instead, I'm just gonna kick these dudes out. They're fucking dead to me. And he's backpedaled 3 times off of it. Like,
Yeah.
You must know by then you've done something wrong if you have to backpedal off of it.
Like, yeah.
How long has he been AFK?
He was here in March. The M2 Liberation, as we called it. He was here. He was very involved in the specific planning of that, which I will give him credit for being involved. And he hasn't been around since.
Yeah, I was kind of taken aback when he said he was just going to drop everything and go fucking hunt y'all down. Like,
yeah, and remember, neither of these corps were like new to the alliance. Sinners was in a lot longer than we were, but we were still in. We fought GOTG, we fought in Cache, all the way through Fountain. One of our Titans got blapped in M2. Like,
one of the 3, I might add. It's not like it's a Titan heavy corps. They still risk their assets like everybody else did.
We had 3 Titans on grid at M2, and
3 whole Titans.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, we're not a big corp, but even us, little corp, been around, we deserve a bit better than that, I think. Like,
considering we went out of our way to make sure nobody had, there was no fucking.
Yeah, we didn't like try and steal things. We didn't flip to goons. We didn't any of that.
So one of the main accusations I think I did hear, and I'll be clear, I have not been following the situation almost at all. It was that you guys were trying to poach other corporations besides the corporation that joined you.
I can straight up say that Criterion did nothing of the sort. We have had no conversations with any other corporation except Sinners.
Well, I don't think that the accusation was against Criterion. I think Criterion was false. In the category of being poached. Or
whenever we decided, once all the directors were aware of the move, I informed the Criterion CEO NCC. I was like, "Hey man, we're probably gonna leave the alliance." He's like, "Okay," and that was it. I'm not like, "Hey man, we're leaving NC Dot. You should too." Like,
yeah, I can also.
It was a clear. We've been working with Criterion. Criterion deployed with cash to us. They were with us whenever NSH was
we were
at GW.
Yeah, we were in NSH in Great Wildlands when Sinners in NC Dot was out there helping us. So like, the 2 corporations have known each other for ages. Bob was actually in a corp I ran years ago.
It's you let your friends know, like, hey man, just letting you know, we're probably going to be leaving soon.
And we'd already were like, our activity had dropped. We were kind of bored, nothing going on. The NC announcement, we had our own internal talk, and that was that.
So there was no other corps approached besides Criterion?
Nope.
I did not approach any. I didn't approach any corps. Bunny mentioned it to this Criterion CEO just out of courtesy, because we basically said, "Hey, we had a lot of fun together 2 summers ago, right?" And said, "Hey, I'll come fly with us." He said, "Okay." Well, we brought him into the alliance, right? And it wasn't like we poached. I mean, we deployed together and like worked together to join ops. And so Bunny said, "Hey, dude, like, we're leaving." So it's a courtesy thing, right? Like, it's like telling your gym buddy you're getting a new gym, right? Like, "Hey, dude," or okay, drinking buddy, whatever, your friend, like, "Hey, dude, I'm moving." They're probably going to want to go with you, right? And no, we did not approach any other corps. And in fact, we specifically said no talking to anybody or approaching anybody outside of Sinners, so we cannot be accused of poaching. There was a very strong, honest, and sincere effort to do this all the right way, very upfront, very honest, and I guess that just wasn't appreciated. And
you guys have a ton of assets in the drone regions? Or, like, I
not
don't
anymore.
know.
Not anymore.
Like, what happened? Are they destroyed? Or are they being sold? Or
we are very efficient at GTFOing.
Jesus Christ.
That and all of our friends and people who live in those regions and delve and drones, they were generous enough to help us either, pull stuff. Some people bought stuff.
Billy, I had 4 other NC CEOs message me personally, just me, saying, "Hey, if you need anything, let me know." A couple of your FCs helped out. Several Horde, both leadership and FCs helped out. Vince was very alone on this, save probably, as I'm sure Nidisfar was happy to see us lead, because we routinely pointed out how terrible his ideas were and his performance. But no, Vince was on an island here, which is probably why he backed them. I don't know. It's very disappointing. It was classic Vince, but it was it was mildly surprising, but extremely disappointing. I'll say it like that. You spend 4 years with an alliance, right? With a group of people, you think loyalty has some value. Well, Alterari. It's like when Goons ran off Pitts after 6 years in the Imperium. Now it's fucking sorry, regardless of the reason. Like, loyalty has to have value. It's like if a company has an employee for years, right? And they fire for no reason or because what they don't like somebody, they don't get their way. Nah, you got to fucking think about it. Because everybody else is going to see you ran somebody off who's been there for years. So,
for the record, I wasn't fired from Goons Farm. That article is like a meme.
We weren't talking about you. We're talking about Pitts.
Okay.
I mean, now we're talking about our 2 corpses, I guess, 5 days ago.
Okay,
right?
the way you pivoted there, I was like, because that's that stupid fucking article.
No, I'm still waiting on the M2 Titan answer, Billy. I don't have any more questions for you than that one.
I have questions from Twitch chat. A lot of people are asking a bunch of various things, like if you could go back in time, would you have, joined the war? Would you have stayed as long as you did? Would you have left earlier? Does your opinions of events change based on, now versus hindsight and whatnot? That's like 20 questions. Sorry.
I can tell you the first half of this war was a blast to be a part of.
Absolutely.
Like, whenever Bob was talking about building up the U.S. time
Blazing
zone,
and YZ9 is still one of my favorite.
YZ9 never happened.
I told y'all, I'm killing all them fucking Titans. Like, that was I'll remember a good chunk of this war with a lot of fondness. Unfortunately, all it takes is 1 or 2 people in the wrong positions to ruin the back half of it, and now we get this mess.
So there's a lot of things about YZ9 that you were like when the Enho attempt was made. So Blazing had jumped his supers into.
Not just mine.
There was 3 different sinos, I think, right? Horde,
NC supers.
Horde, NC, and Test all had different sinos. So the Enho attempt was literally on only the fleet that Bunny was leading, is my understanding or memory of.
Yeah.
Because Test and all the legacy supers were a good 30 or 40 kilometers southward of that. And I think Horde was like 20 kilometers up, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe Horde was above us. I bumped into them.
And Horde were definitely within the gun sights, though.
Yeah, Horde was in like the range where they were going to take damage, but like they warped to your sino, right? Like,
yeah.
It was all coming at you. And I remember, I'll never forget. You're like, I'm about to get fucked, and then like,
and then he starts yelling for Titans.
And then he's like, oh, I'm not taking much damage. I'm good.
Well, no,
and then it's like, let's kill some fucking Titans.
So here's some more leaks about that. First, my apostle I had links on my apostle instantly evaporated, so I was convinced that this was going to happen. And then my Aeon got pushed into low armor. I want to say like 15%, and it was because at the time I was damage fit, unslaved, and the links didn't hit it. So I'm sitting there, right? Yeah. We were staged. What was that fucking system we were in, Billy? The one right next to Delve.
AQT.
49?
Was it AQT or was it? Anyway, so we were. My slaves were in PZ, the Keepstar before that one. So I jumped in, right, and it only reinforced the kind of like I'm literally about to feed all these people supers, because I watched mine getting ripped apart by all these bosons, not knowing until I jumped back after the fighting was done that I'm an idiot. So.
I could have told you that before the fighting started.
And then Tachi starts yelling that like, hey, where are people's armors at? And everybody's like, oh, I'm still at 90%. I'm like, fucking how? But yeah. And then me and Johnny Ryder died and started killing Titans. She was dope.
I think there's a really good soundbite of you saying, we're going to kill everything that's on this fucking grid right now. Or something along those lines.
I believe the phrase unalive those fucks was used.
It might have been. I don't know.
Unalive those fucks.
I like that.
Jesus.
That is like the blazing statement.
Do you guys like the start of the war? In your minds, would you have left earlier, or do you think now is the good time to leave?
I think if we would have rolled the momentum we were riding on following the Keepstar grinds, whenever there was a lot of people who are around because they're getting Keepstar kill mills directly into the 3D that last Constellation Siege, then I think we would be talking about a completely different war right now.
I have some insight on that, Rain, if you want it.
Yeah, go for it.
So there was 2 differing schools of thought there. Basically, you have let's call it the Pittsburghs, right? The pro gods and the Muskies, the people, the headliners, right? The people that are like, hey, let's fucking kill them all, right? And they're ready to go in and just run this war of attrition. Hey, if we fucking lose, we lose, right? But if we win forever, right? Kind of deal, right? talking about a lot of asset safety, right? If you kill those keep stars, the last one's left in 1DQ pocket. Then you have the Nidaspars and the other naysayers, the weaklings, the cowards, and the coalition. I'm not going to name the other names because the other ones just kind of follow what their idol does, basically. But there was this big back and forth in Pappy. And I think at first it was a whole lot more of like, hey, we need to fucking go. Let's go fight. And there was a really big fight that Billy was involved in, actually, where Billy fed like 400 hacks in 3D. But anyways, point is we had a shit ton of people. And, there was this really big push, like, hey, we can fight. We got the numbers. We got everything. Let's push. Let's push. Let's push. Let's crack the 1DQ pocket. Because, you can't win if you don't try, right? That's how wars work, right? And then you got what we talked about earlier, the people that don't want to form, the people that are like, oh, it's not my idea, I don't want to go. And eventually that mentality, that I call defeatist and naysayer, I don't know what they call themselves, but that's what they are, just kind of like seep through the coalition. And now you have like probably a third of people think that way, and 2/3 like, yeah, we want to win, but without everybody on board, you can't fucking drum it up. If you only, if everybody hears six different frequencies, you only bang the drums on 4, not everybody's gonna hear it. And so that's what's preventing any kind of progress from possibly being made, which we went into earlier. But it's not that Pappy can't win. It's just certain people don't want to, and those certain people are allowed to stick around.
Yeah, like you were away earlier when I mentioned something, but like what you said before the show, in terms of commitment or effort in order to win the war. I didn't know if you want to go into one of those.
Well, I can't tell you how many times I heard the term ISK war. And it's really annoying because and goons are guilty of this too, but it affects Pappy way worse than this specific, let's call it a stalemate of the war. However you want to argue who's winning, nobody's losing currently. A bunch of us in the game have bred this whole ISK war concept, right? And I'm guilty of it. A bunch of us in this channel are probably guilty of it. But like, dude, some of my funnest fleets were actually feeds. I fed a rattlesnake fleet like 2 years ago that somebody always brings up every month, but it was a lot of fun, right? Like, Eve's about having fun. Well, in this case, in a war of what, Philly, I think you declared it as a war of extinction. Like, we have to win. We can't just have fun. We can't just win ISK wars. Like, the common saying is first blood is not as important as last blood. Well, if we got to feed 50 bill to kill a fucking jammer, then we got to feed 50 bill to kill a jammer. And everybody needs to accept it and move on. But for whatever reason, these naysayers that have wiggled their way into Pappy influence and tags or whatever, they go and cry because somebody loses 20 mutants or 100 mutants or whatever, or let's call it 400 mutants, right? Or whatever it's 400 hacks or Billy.
Actually, Bob, about that, didn't someone in leadership, I heard, get mad about killing those vendettas because a bunch of dreads died?
Are you serious?
Yeah, okay, that's a different story. But point is, we've created.
I want to hear that.
So the nullsec players of Eve, have created this whole. I'm gonna say lowsec too, but especially nullsec, have created this bullshit ISK war concept where we got to link a BR after a fight to prove that we won or we had fun. Actually, you can lose a fight and still have fun. It's entirely possible. It's entirely possible to lose a fight and still have fun. And this ISK war concept is ruining the game. And every single person in this channel, their alliance is guilty. Maybe not the person, but the alliance. I'm with you. Delete Zekiel. Like, it's absolutely ruining the game. It's ruining the offensive mentality. I mean, hey, it passed one there. They got to get past the freaking ISK war mentality. They're going to feed their asses out. Back in January, everything was stuck in them too. I suggested to Vince, hey, we should suicide half a trill to kill the 1DQ exploit faction fort, right? On the iHub. I mean, consider it an exploit, but it's not being moved, right? But if for y'all that don't know, there's a faction fort like 50k off the iHub in 1DQ, which basically means like you can never toast it with the fax because the faction fort can just nuke it. It sucks. I mean, from the attacker's perspective, it sucks. Well, when goons were so tied up with M2 and whatever, I don't remember what the chants were. There's a lot of like dumb chants, but about Hellcamp and stuff and holding on all the Titans. I suggested, hey, dude, let's just fucking drop a shit ton of dreads in there. Then RF the Jammers and AU the day before the armor timer, day before the whole timer. And if we got to feed 500 billion, it's worth it. Because one day we're going to want to kill the I hub. And the general consensus seemed to be, oh, we don't want to risk a feed on Z kill. Okay, well, does Z kill matter or does winning the war matter? You know what I mean? You got to decide what wins. And this whole ISCOR mentality is just it's holding Pappy back massively. It doesn't affect goons too much. They're kind of stuck where they are. They can't go anywhere anyways. Like, they have to log in. They get to play on their carriers a lot, shoot subs in the current dynamic of the game. But for Pappy, this ISCOR mentality is an absolute killer. And until every alliance leader gets out in front and removes that mentality that they've been freaking breeding for years, I think it'll continue to have a negative psychological effect on all pilots in Pappy. I mean, you basically created this mantra of how to win, and now you have to accept that that's not how you win. You got to go convince everybody else that's not how you win. And I argued for this a lot. Pitts did, Bunny did some. I think Muskie did some. Malachi and NC, the AU guy, did. But nobody else seemed to catch on.
That affected me. Like, when you hear your FC say, yeah, we can't fight this because we might feed, and you look at local, and you're in the enemy staging, or at least where all their fleets are, so you know what they have. You look at your fleets, and you say, what the fuck? We're within, like, single-digit % numbers difference. What do you mean we might feed? Fight the damn thing. Like, get the hell in there. It is morale crushing when they're so worried about feeding a little that they just won't frickin' fight.
No, you're absolutely right.
That was NC.EUTZ kind of in a goddamn nutshell.
I mean, y'all knew that invading goons, it was going to cost, like, you're going to have to pay the piper at some point, right?
Well, nobody thought we'd get this far, to be honest.
That's one of those walk in. Oh shit! I didn't.
We're way past how far we ever thought we'd get.
To be honest, the first 3 quarters of the war was like that, right? Whenever, like, I think it was my third favorite moment of this memory of this war is that time where someone went through and reinforced all those like query SI hubs, and then Brisk went on some show and he's like, there's no way that any of these will ever die. And then, not to really prove a point, not to actually because it meant any strategic value, we worked out a way, we killed every single one of the I hubs. Just like why is this happening? Why is this working? You know what I mean? And then the keep stars dying, unopposed, or the YZ9, or killing supers in 49U, or the Titans in YZ9, or even hell, you'd probably even go as far to say I doubt a lot of people actually thought the Titan fight M2 was going to happen either.
I didn't think it was going to happen, and then when it did happen, I thought we were going to lose, like, badly.
Well,
I mean the first one.
The first one we traded really well.
That was an actual fight. The second one was just a massacre.
The first one was beautiful.
To be fair, a bunch of us weren't in the second one.
I was stuck. I wasn't either. I never managed to get in system for me. Okay. My super tried to jumped, then unjumped itself, then jumped again, then ended up back in the keep star, and it didn't generate a kill mail. My Titan, just the moment I hit the jump button, just stopped doing anything and just crashed. So
I can't really talk shit. I was in Daytona Beach for all of that.
Yeah, you were parked on the side of the road asking us what the hell is going on.
Did you have fun at least?
In Daytona Beach? Absolutely. Oh my god, yes.
Well, thanks for the invite.
So, backpedaling a hair.
So,
on this whole...
Do you guys think the ISK war, the whole Z-kill thing, is going to affect the future of this war?
It has to this point.
As long as the Euros are in
so
charge.
something has
I would
to
almost
change.
say that it's affecting the game, honestly.
And it is affecting the game, right? Like, let's look at what's happening in J5A right now, right? I mean, can we switch off Delve for a second?
What's going on in J5A? I'm not paying attention.
Apparently there's like 800 people in local. Some crazy shit's going down.
Yeah, there's a structure timer of something with some shitbag we used to talk
Sika
about.
has a Fortizar final timer, so Sika is part of the Fountain crew, let's call them. There's a small group of alliances that are working together there between FedUp, Sika, Forsaken Empire, etc. They're loosely supported by Pappy, just because we want people to hold the space.
The Forsaken Empire.
That are not what do you call it? Initiative. And I believe they're under attack currently from a combination of Volta dock workers and
there's an abandoned fleet there.
Somebody else, I can't remember who. They had a really fun fight on the Fortizar armor timer, where I think it was like 35 build to 25, and I think Sika and FedUp and Forsaken won that battle. And this time, I guess we're seeing lots of engagement, as I think Pappy is there at least with a little more support this time, just because they thought it might be a bigger timer. And I'm not following the battle, what's going on currently, but I'm sure one of you guys can tell me what's going on.
Oh, I didn't see a ping.
So I'd like to. Okay, so the attackers basically threw 25 bill into hitting this fort, right? And are effing it in the armor timer. That's 25 bill in losses. Now the defenders, if you look at Z kill, they took more losses, right? Effectively, but it's not just the losses. Like these guys are using carriers and null. They don't have fucking 200. Well, I'm gonna say NC Titans or 200 Goon Titans dropping on them, right? And they're actually, I mean, it says next door to where most Titans in the game are right now. So, I mean, there's value in, you can't just put this quantitative straight ISK value to a fight, right? There's the whole win-lose factor, there's the fun factor, there's the whole, we got to use ship type XYZ, whether it's carriers or rattlesnakes or slipners, whatever. People want to use fun stuff. Yeah, they want to not get fucked by goons, or in this case, Pappy or some Pappy aligned massive nullsec blob, like Test, for example, who I guess is defending right now. Billy can't tell really, but maybe there's a Test fleet on grid. It looks like
we would be on the defending side with Sika, Forsaken Empire, and Fed Up.
But historically, having been in a smaller low-sec alliance in the past, a couple in the past, right? One of the big fears with going into null-sec is you get bubbled, stuck in tie-dye, and then some massive null blob trash freaking alliance shows up and just kills you with a bunch of shitty ships. Mutants.
But that's not what the situation is, right? You've got
correct.
Like,
I know they're having a really good fight.
People here, right? Like this isn't like little.
There's
guys
this incredible fight happening. This is how the game's supposed to be played. And so I say, there's value in that. This is what he's supposed to look like. Massive fights. Nobody's fucking bidding and gating your Titans 5 times to get to and just wipe everybody out. It's just massive fun fight. That's how he's supposed to look like. I'm hoping now that Sinners has, kind of left the whole Munin and Carrier stalemate of Delve, we'll be engaging, not necessarily J5A, right? But getting some really good fights that are like 100 on 100 or 300 on 300, not 1,000 on 1,000, 10% tie-dye. The game's not supposed to be played like that. If it was, then, it would work. So
I was looking forward to losing my Titans, so I don't have to deal with them anymore.
I'm so glad I don't have Titans anymore.
You still can look forward to losing your Titans. I mean, at the end of the day, you still have a very large hostile force at your doorstep.
It's one of those things. Everybody wants to go down in glorious combat, right?
Yeah, but do you really want to do it in 10% tie-dye where it takes?
But no, nobody wants to be a turkey shot Titan, right? Like that's kind of the unfortunate reality of the situation, right?
Yeah.
10% tie-dye, as long as it's cream, like it's, it works and it's not fucking jittery and all that shit. Then
that's actually a good point.
I don't
tie-dye and then there's broken.
Like nobody minded the first M2 fight, right? Like the first M2 fight was insane tie-dye, but like everybody minded the second M2 fight.
The 49U fight was super crispy, if I remember correctly. Like whenever we dropped reds.
Second time.
I don't know if I'd say the 49U fight was super crispy, but it was manageable, right? Like
so much more than YZ9 was.
Also, Billy, I have a question. From a Pappy leadership perspective, what are your thoughts on the whole NC Center's Vince Draken's comments on this? What are your thoughts on that?
In what way?
Like, what did that make you think? The fact that Vince immediately labeled them as traitors when they're trying to join another alliance that is, as far as I can tell, allied with Pappy because they have a Fortizar and T5. Like, what is that? How does that, I guess, perceive to you? Like, what does that make you think? Because I see an NSH Fortizar inside a T5 right next to the Geepstar. So they're going blue to blue. And then they're being labeled traitors. That I've been genuinely curious. Like, how do you feel about this? What's your perspective on this?
So I'll say some stuff about each bit of it. So first off, I've been in a position of alliance leadership for a short enough period of time to get a reasonable understanding of how difficult things are. So I'm not one to judge people's decisions in that kind of way. With that being said, when it came to the post M2 environment, when things in Pappy were by far at their worst, it was Bob and the NC. US time zone team that really carry the torch and the morale of Pappy, and to a non-zero degree myself, in terms of just kind of, I don't know how to put it. Like, they led the charge by leading the little battles or something. Like, they found the holes to rebuild the enthusiasm. Bob has this kind of style of fuck it, let's go blow shit up, and we kind of vibed on how to do that together and take some ballsy risks, and it really worked out. And I'm very cognizant of how much of a role he played in our recovery in that post M2 environment. So obviously every time he's brought up, I'm gonna think of that, because when I was debatably at my worst, I guess you could say, he was there helping me carry the torch back up, and I really appreciated that. With that being said, obviously, it wasn't just him. There was a lot of people, but I definitely remember that a lot. And in the past months, we've kind of alternated our ability or playtimes in kind of a way where he's been most active when I'm not, and I've been most active when he's not. So it's just kind of been a little bit like that. I don't know the internal dichotomy of NC Dot, and I'm obviously not interested in shit talking an ally. But I think there's a lot of good people in Sinners, and it sucks for them to have any drama when they're trying to move and do things with their corporation. I understand the war is a frustrating moment, and people are going to make decisions based on that, and that's their choice and that's their right? Like, we make it a point that nobody in these alliances are slaves. Nobody is a conscript, let's say. So people can walk with their feet at any point if they want to. And if they're going to take their corporation and go do other things because they want to look for greener pastures for a while, that's their right. That's their that's their duty to their corporation members.
Fair enough.
Bill, did you have any other questions?
I mean, so does with Sinners go into NSH allegedly?
We're doing NSH now.
Okay.
In fact, we were trying to time it correctly. So we would be in Alliance in time for this, but turns out none of us know how Alliance mechanic works.
Yes, there are some secret buttons that you got to learn to press.
Well, we just fucked the timing up on it.
No, didn't Vince fuck the timing? Wasn't
who...
the goal to leave NC during Trash Talk Tuesday? Or
was
Trader
it to leave
Talk Tuesday?
Was it to leave during the show or join?
Yeah, to leave during the show. So
it was one of those.
Like, it's not a ruse.
We didn't do it correctly though.
No, we did. It's just Vince fucked it up by announcing that he was going to be removing us, and then subsequently removing us.
Who you guys hate enough that you're joining NSH to kill? Because I'm so dumb at this, I have no idea. I can't even give you an educated guess.
It'll be in the news.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, they said it's somebody not involved in the war. There are U.S. time zone alliance.
Oh.
Brave?
I have
nobody hates Brave.
It's interesting you bring that up. There's a couple people in Brave that have been writing checks with their mouths so their asses can't catch. And since I'm not blue to him anymore, I might be back.
I'd also like to say, nice sidestep on the circling back to the Vendettas comment.
Which one? Oh, when y'all dread bombed the Vendettas?
Yeah, there were some people quite upset about the dreads dying there. I saw plenty of snapshots of that.
Okay, so I was just like the mutant blob FC. I didn't really, and I fed some fight. Okay, I was basically asked to keep feeding fighters in M2. Basically, was my role in that. 2 other people planned it. You guys poke me for me to say your names or not, but yeah. After we killed those 2 vendettas, say assassinated those 2 vendettas. That's what it was. These idiots, dude. Like, who was it? Was it Vince and Nidus or Vince and somebody? They just had some smart ass comment on hit. Could have used less dreads, and I'm like, bitch, you never fucking use dreads. Like, Dude, it was just the most snide. But honestly, it was typical. Just
Yeah,
NC
it sounds like
UTZ
a
shit talk.
So
Like,
wait,
it sounds like a
someone
Nidus comment, honest.
I don't really know Nidaspar, Norvinstraken. Are they always like this, or is this like a bitter X sort of
I don't
tier
think
comment?
Nidus has been the same way since he. Oh, I gotta be careful. So, something went wrong in his childhood, right? And he never like improved. So he's been the same way his whole life. I'm pretty sure. Vince,
Okay.
no idea. A lot of us aren't even. I'm not even. Yeah, I don't,
Let's not
I'm
do
not
the
gonna-
light stuff.
Yeah,
If that's
yeah.
actually true or you're just muting, it doesn't matter.
Like, I just don't know if this is normal behavior from them or not. Like, that's what I'm asking.
It's
So
normal.
I will tell you,
Okay.
whenever Bob took a break during the Tenal branch GOTG war, I was promoted to kind of fill the spot, and I can tell you no matter what happened, there was a time where, in the interest of keeping the U.S. time zone alive when fighting a predominantly Chinese and Russian block, right? There's not a whole lot for us to do. We tried to introduce some new stuff. I've fed T3s in. I don't know if I can reference what I wanted to. But
that was your ships, though, right? Those were handout T3s.
Yeah, the Alliance didn't pay for any of them.
I paid for a bunch of them though.
Oh yeah, I think Tiff and Ish did shell out for a few of them.
Yeah.
But we just did it in a way to break up the monotony. Like, hey, instead of flying Munins every night to go into GOTG space, maybe we'll try to do some T3s. But literally, anytime we take any losses whatsoever, all of a sudden I'd wake up in the morning to a fucking Nidaspar DM talking shit about how, oh, will you stop using those fucking ships and just use the ships we tell you to fly and shit like that. And it's like, that's kind of the entire reason why you're pushing other EUTZFCs away. If you're doing it to me, and I don't even like you, dog, like, if you're doing it to me, I can't even imagine what goes on. Fuck, Loki was in his corp, but he's muted now like a coward.
I mean, I actually remember on multiple fleets out during that point of us losing a ship or two to kill, like, who was the occasional FC that would pop out and fight us? Anyway, and you'd be like, "Oh, I'm getting a DM in the morning." And
That I will tell
not
you,
a fun thing to know.
I remember there was a fight where we were fighting Goon Expeditionary in, oh shit, I always get the two of those confused because one has Sov, the other one doesn't. Whatever one doesn't have Sov in the north. And we flew Maelstroms for the first time, and I warped us in to fight because we dropped caps first, and we were going to warp up into the caps and then fight from there. And then we got damn near bombed to death. And I think we lost a couple, but then we wound up leaving and then coming back. And I remember telling Bob on command comms, I'm like, the fucking Euros are going to complain about this just because we've lost a handful of battleships, because all they need is like one slightly negative ISK loss, and all of a sudden this was a shitty idea. We never should have done it. I always should have just listened to them the entire time.
And I'm pretty sure the fight in question, even if we go by ISK war, was very close, and like it was fun as hell. Everyone that was there, even some people who got bombed to death, quite enjoyed the whole thing. And there's still complaining by people who were not even awake.
And this is a year and a half ago, right, Bunny? And this is the same ISK war bullshit. Like, who fucking cares, dude? It's like, somebody has to lose, right? I mean, it's like somebody has to lose, right? That's how fighting works.
Hell,
so quit making it quantifiable, right?
You might be able to go back even farther than the GOTG war. I can't really say too much anything past that because I was
certainly it was there in cash.
Well,
I remember a certain Euro causing problems during all that.
Oh, we started defeating N's mother. Yeah, whoops.
I'll never.
I wasn't.
Is that the one time you guys lost like 2 fights in N's mother against us? Is that what you're talking?
Dude, we lost. I think one fight, and Vince was like, "No more fighting in N's mother. I'm purging all of you." And so I was pretty much fucking done at that point. And then we kept fighting, and then Vince is like, "Hey, we're blue in test," and I said, "Fuck this," and quit the game for 6 months personally.
Actually, the one I remember, there was that one fight. Actually, Villy, you dropped Titans on us in cash.
And we tethered. That was fun.
And so a bunch of us tethered, a bunch of us jumped out, and there were Euros bitching about that fight too. I think we even beat you in this score by like 1%.
To be honest, if I may weigh in on that, I think we lost the subcap fleet to like a man.
The subcaps died to a fucking man, but we wrecked the Dread fleet and then actually extracted a solid amount.
I think in the end I was up by like 5 bill, but it was like a very even fight.
Yeah.
I was reliant on Titans to equalize the
I
battle.
think
right?
you beat
And
us by like 5-6 bill, and on
you
a
guys were
fight
able
was
to
each
tether
side
and-
lost over 100. So it's
Yeah,
like,
something like that.
yeah, we're talking a minor thing, and you dropped Titans on us, and they were still Euros bitching about that. Like, who complains about a fight like that? That's fun for everyone involved. No one looks stupid. Like,
I'll never forget that fight on that Fortizar and watching Seto's AB sacrileges land in the bubble right next to y'all's fleet.
oh,
That was so fucking funny. It's like, oh shit, they're warping on grid. Oh, there they go.
Afghanistan was probably the most fun that I've had in even the time that I played it.
It's where I
I'm being
earned
honest.
the Hod Daddy moniker.
You will always be the Haw Daddy. I will always remember dropping those Haws, and you just saying to us, Haw Dreads, I see Ikatersas. I don't want to. And then they died.
I think that's in someone's video.
Oh, is that when Progod was just trying out his Logi Ickies?
Yeah, Logi Ickies, armor eagles.
We were
honestly, here's the crazy truth about Logi Ickies. They actually probably would have worked if we could just like get a combination of like enough Icky Terses and buy-in and
good Logi FCs. You're welcome. Thanks.
Well,
yeah, but I mean, we had some good Logi FCs in tests. It's just one of those things where like because like all of these experimental things, they always require people to believe in them to show up with them. So you really have to, when you're trying out experimental doctrines, more often than not, you have to have what I call like a benchmark fight. Like basically, it's a fight where there's no way you should really lose. Like I don't know how to describe this. It's basically like a free win fight. Like so the people are like, oh, it was the doctrine that did it. When it like wouldn't matter if you were fucking Munins or Eagles or whatever. People
you
start to
shouldn't have
believe
taken them against the Haw Daddy. Then I mean, you were screwed from the get go there.
It's a meme. That's where the say five is like what 5 words, 17 letters. Say it and I'm yours, and it says everybody log in your Haw Dreads.
Jesus.
Everybody loves logging in Haw Dreads and getting kills, right? It's
I think I had like 39 or 40 kill marks on mine from cash.
I was just belligerent with it though, honestly.
Oh god, yes.
There was a fight. I was looking through old while we were entertaining, like in between the directors meeting and the court meeting. I was looking through old Sinners videos, and there was one. I don't remember. I think it was some Lord guy from Winterco that it was from his point of view, and their FC is like, all right, we're gonna merge with NC Dot, and they're all groaned at, and it was Siku or someone tried to bomb me, and I warped down the gate right as Eagles jumped in, and I'm pretty sure Yell expected me to run, but I'm just like way too stubborn to run away. So there we did. We sat and fought on the gate, and then dropped Haws at 30, and then everybody ran away.
Haw Dreads are fun.
Yeah, there was one actually to round back into Dell. It was one of the keep fights in Fountain actually, where we Blazing dropped a bunch of us in Haws on a gate, and in it jumped in Abaddons and jumped out and like did this 2 or 3 times. And I was just sitting there, and I'm like, this is the most fun I've ever had in 10% tie-dye. Poof goes a battleship. Poof goes a battleship. Can we just like bring only our Haws to NSH? Just leave everything behind. Just be the new Haw wing.
I remember dropping my Cayman that's Haw fit for the first time and getting DMs from like 2 or 3 people, and they're like, "Hey, that's real bold jumping that in." I was like, "Oh shit." But
I do have one thing real quick before I dip though. If it's okay, Redline.
Okay that you dip? No, but you can have your one thing.
Hey,
okay with me.
So
but the viewer
if
count
you're
is
in like a
more.
shitty alliance, like my last one, right, where the alliance leader rules by fear, and you're afraid you're gonna get fucking scouted trying to leave, regardless if it's like Happy or Imperium or like a normal non-Delve stealth main alliance. I mean, ask for help. Like, Redline 13, we'll just use him basically. But like, if you want to get the fuck out of wherever you are and need help evacuating, you're afraid you're gonna scatter or die, just message Redline. He's got friends on both sides of the fence in several areas. Like, I'm very against this bullshit. Hey, I'm gonna threaten you if you try to leave. Nonsense that Vince tried to impose on us. We basically called his bluff. It jumped all of our Titans out. Like what? 4 hours later, Blazing 5. I mean, it was very. I'm not getting real numbers, but is a girthy fleet, and yeah, I mean, it's don't let these people control you. Like if you had these control freak alliance leaders, corp directors, corp CEO, leave, go somewhere else. There's a lot of good corps in the game. Maybe in Goonstorm there's good corps too. I don't know. But Yeah, so most of the game, there's good corps everywhere. Don't where you are sucks, get out. And if you don't know how to get out, literally just message Redline. He can point you to someone who will help you get out of here. Yeah, and we'll move forward. But yeah,
Hell.
don't be stuck where you are. Being stuck where you are sucks. Feeling controlled and oppressed, especially in the video games, bullshit. And nobody who pays for this game should go through that shit.
And if you're worried about getting scouted, I mean, look at us. We jumped all our stuff out. And I didn't. People were still saying it's a ruse on Reddit like 3 days later. It's like, did you not see that jump out of T5 in the middle of USTZ?
To be fair, even after all of this tell-all stuff that we've been doing for the past hour,
people are still going to think this is a damn ruse. This is not a meme.
Yeah, I mean, not until tomorrow when you reveal that it was all a ruse.
But actually, NSH is joining NC. That's why that's what the actual ruse.
I'm the keeper of the NPC delves. Like if you need to move something, you just holler at your boy. I got you
for a nominal fee, of course.
And hell no, I'm too scared of your 19 Myrmidons. I ain't going anywhere near you.
It's not the fucking Myrmidons. You have to deal with the fact that he's the only person in the game who's actually ground Blood Raider standing. So it's like you just get goon squad by Blood Raider rats.
That's besides the point. When I see like 19 Myrmidons all yellow box me at the same time, I shit myself. I don't care about the rats. I'm already dead.
I grounded those standings in like 5 minutes, I think. It was back with those booster pills that they released. Just yeah, you just have to do like one storyline mission and boom.
God, why didn't I think of that? Thought about doing it.
It was really easy, by the way, to get like 7.0.
Yeah, I made like
totally
7
the,
level
like,
5 pullers during
market.
all that.
Yeah.
Not to derail the conversation. I was just like, I didn't actually sit there and poop sock those fucking missions, by no means.
I would like to also like, if anybody wants to leave an alliance, as long as you give me some kind of heads up, I'll cover you myself. Like this game is well, I mean, if you believe the PCU and whatever other numbers that says it's dying, this game is on its last legs as it is, and you sitting in your alliances that are, led by old decrepit leaders from like, I don't really give a shit that you FC'd the Great War, dog. Like, there's new up and coming talent, new dudes who can, and great leaders. Like, you don't have to
Future is now, old man.
Death to the Corpse Emperor.
You don't have to fucking follow the same old ass alliance CEOs that have been around since the dawn of the game.
Well,
we traders got to stick together.
Y'all can actually poach people now because double jeopardy, right? You can't be accused of the same sin twice, right?
He can't. What are you gonna do? What is he gonna do? Purge us?
So, without naming names, there's 6 different like regular USTZ pilots and other corps in NC that have approached us already. We basically told them hang tight, wait till things chill out. Not gonna name names for obvious reasons, but yeah, we'll go get them. If we got to bring a fleet down there to get them out, we will. But yeah, I mean, shit. People approached us, not the other way around. So sorry, Vince.
Don't say you're sorry, even if you are being sarcastic. Don't give.
Yeah, not really sorry.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Honesty is the best policy, Bob.
I don't know if there's any more questions. I feel like we've revealed quite a bit.
Does anyone in chat have questions?
Hopefully you're able to glean a little bit of our side of the story and not the side that is at everybody death threats. And it's the story of how we went out of our way to make sure none of these people we've been loyal to for 4 years felt hurt or betrayed on our way out. They did that anyway. Oh, I want to fight like Marius and Sandrin, and there's another fucking guy who told me that if I ever fought him, I'd lose, and I don't believe that.
So do you want me to?
In chat?
Yeah, I just saw one.
Do you want to fight them here?
Am I going to Vegas? I would have went to Vegas had we won the war. I was talking to another FC, and I'm like, wow, man, that would have been an awesome victory lap. But unfortunately, well, actually, also fortunately, another court mate of mine invited me to go to his wedding. So, hey, speaking of, if anybody wants me to, if anybody wants me to go to your wedding, just let me know, and don't be in Europe.
Wait, what the fuck?
What?
I thought you were coming. I thought we were
to Vegas.
Yeah. Why aren't you going to Vegas, dude?
Because I have a buddy's wedding in now October. I might still go. Like, it's still in the fence. Like, I'm definitely going to NOLA. I might.
Yeah, we got a trader squad going to NOLA.
I might still go to.
Nice.
I'm bringing T-shirts.
I might still go to Vegas. I don't know. I definitely have to go to this dude's wedding though, because he was nice enough to rewrite his wedding and make spots for me and Bob. So.
Where is Killa B? I think he would have been the head FC in such a war.
Where is Killaby? I'm trying to think.
Last I knew, he was on holiday. Actually, like proper
yeah, he put a picture
holiday.
on Twitter in like Caribbean
Yeah,
or
he
something,
did.
right? He's living it up right now.
He's
I haven't
sure
honestly
is doing
seen Killaby
something.
FC something for real in a long, long time. Honestly, I couldn't even
He
tell
did
you.
his
what
little
the
He
last
did some
wormhole
structure
party.
matches in Fountain, dude. Yeah.
Oh, did he?
He's
I
really
didn't know.
not impressive. I have nothing good to say about him, actually. Like, reflecting on several years.
Well, it's because he's a Euro. Like, if he wasn't a Euro, you'd have at least one good thing to say about him.
I
But
mean,
he's not a Euro.
I have one good thing to say about him. He's on the other side of the damn Atlantic.
fair enough.
Wow.
It's kind of toxic. But you know,
I mean, even if it is
it's
Goon
okay.
Vegas, whoever this guy is, it's still that means you don't have to get bloated down by actually feeling guilty to go into the keynote. So now you can just get blacked out by the cabana for the entire trip.
There are lots of cabana adventures, by the way. Me and Drayden and a couple others are figuring out cabanas to do every single day if you don't want to go to like a bar or whatever.
What is a cabana?
It is
it's
a
like
little like shaded place by a pool where you can get free drinks. By free meaning someone else pays for them.
I don't think
Somebody
Redline
always
could manage
pays.
that.
Yeah, Billy, why aren't you going, bro?
It was the cabana adventures where I
When is it?
bestowed upon
October
everybody the
22
knowledge
through
of Vegas
24?
bombs.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Vegas
Billy,
bombs.
bro, who's gonna be our sugar daddy?
It wasn't gonna be me either way.
Jesus, dude.
Well, I'm waiting to see what happens with Wriggle Pharmaceuticals before I can play the sugar daddy role.
Wriggle Pharmaceuticals.
So
Oh,
now that we've kind of gone through and revealed all the secrets of the universe with sinners and everything, let's shift focus a little bit because we've talked
I
a lot about
don't
the.
want to talk about the patch, dude. Like, no.
We're not going to. I was gonna say
Okay.
we've talked a lot about the past, and I kind of want to talk about the future. So, Bob's still here, but he's muted. So he said some things about like I'm just curious, like, so there's been questions of like, can Pappy still win the war, all that kind of stuff. How much of an impact do you think us leaving this war will have on said war? Like, you already said that it's going to be a 2-month break or a few month break or whatever, that nothing's going to happen until September. But what do you think's actually going to happen come September?
Nothing.
Real talk.
That was a Bob
No
question.
bullshit.
Oh, me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
you, Bob. That's you're Bob.
I see two options. One of the big alliances ups and leaves. And I'm not talking about two corps. I'm saying the alliance leader says, hey, I'm out. I don't think it's possible to pull it off without the other alliance leaders knowing. So it'd basically be a planned withdrawal. But you kind of gotta look at cards, right? Like, who's got cards on the table. So let's look at strongest first. What alliance is in the strongest position right now? That if they wanted to leave, like, basically
War's over.
they could leave, right? The war's over. Or if they said, no, you guys are staying, everybody's stuck with them. Pandemic Horde. I mean, no doubt, right? I think they have the most comprehensive all-around FC team. Goblins is very active and involved in the war. They have the industrial background. And, you know, you got to look at Goblins positioning himself really strongly here. This Pappy Discord thing, Pappy Assemble was his idea. Goblins is directly involved in the planning of the M2 breakout when we logged in all that shit, got a bunch of Titans out, 100 or whatever it was, 130. All these Pappy Assemble skirmish fleets that are like kind of chill around, like, hey, we're just going to go fuck around and get some kills and dip. It's mostly Horde FCs. It's all in Horde comms. You know, Horde is directly involved in showing what a very strong nullsec alliance should look like. If I'm in one of these other alliances, NC, right, or whatever, like, hey, man, these guys got an active team. They got shit on contract. Their comms are cool. Their alliance leader's real. You know, like a real person that plays the game. Horde's a good option in a post-Delve world, right? Whether Pappy wins or loses. So, I mean, I'd say Horde, whether 1DQ falls or not, is going to benefit the absolute most out of anybody. I mean, they're an incredible spot. Philly may have some thoughts on that, but I think Horde's the best positioned currently. They also have an entire region to go back home to.
When the decision to have this war was made, you know, I always knew that, you know, if we were the ones that were going to make the all-in call, then we wouldn't hold any cards, right? That's kind of how it goes. You know, Tess took the big risk, and if we lose, we lose. That's the thing. But if we win, we win, and that's because of our willing to take those risks. So it's one of those things where I've always been open that we don't hold a whole lot of cards here. We're playing on. I think I said this like 9 months ago, before M2, post M2. Like, if NC and PanFam lose, we're gonna lose, or leave, we're gonna lose. But I don't think anybody's going anywhere at this point. I think everybody's pretty settled in for the summer, and we'll see what happens come the fall when obviously everybody's numbers are going to be down a little bit, and certainly we'll have some different strategies to try, and we'll have some full tanks to work with, and hopefully it should make the difference. We'll see.
So, Billy, you're not concerned about any corps leaving test, and which ones are they that you're concerned about?
I'm not tracking any corps in test that are leaving, no.
That being said,
and I'll give you an interesting example, because Imperial Federation, for example, IFED, when they told us they were leaving, we're like, okay, we tried to talk them down, and they said, no, we're leaving. And obviously they lied and told everyone they were going to drone regions and they were going to go be renters, and we're like, all right, go be renters, have fun. If a corp wants to leave test, they're more than welcome to leave, and they know we're not going to do anything crazy about it. It's just the way we have been, right? We've had plenty of corps leave test over the last 5 years. We've had plenty of corps join test too. It's just it's par for the course.
So you're confirming that you would never react in hostile knee-jerk reaction like that, like what was previously done by another unsaid name.
Jeez, that was a bait and a half, dude. Holy
By
fuck.
not
Yeah, maybe I got
Draken.
baited there, maybe not.
That wasn't even a bait. He literally
Billy Draken.
he threw the line out in front of your face and then asked if you wanted to eat bait.
Billy is test recruiting, because there's another alliance with an asshole AFK alliance leader that might be interested. I don't know.
Wait, Billy starts with a V, Vince starts with a V. Both
Say that one again, sorry, Bob.
I just asked if y'all recruiting right now.
Yeah, test is always recruiting corporations.
Well, fuck.
Shit, why didn't we just join test, dude? We could
Test
have
alliance,
been
best
spared
alliance.
from Wally pings.
Wally hasn't.
Nah,
since we've
I'm
been
kinda
at it.
I'll tell you what, if you guys want to reconsider Incentives, we can have that conversation.
At
I
this
was
point,
Wow, I'm
blacklisted
hurt.
from test. So.
Yeah, I would say Vince said we're blacklisted from everybody.
Oh,
And I'm just
Progon
hurt
said
that
I
I'm not
can't
mentioned.
test.
The last person who said that to someone, it didn't work out too well.
I don't know what has been said. All I know is I can have the conversation.
So backing up, Bill, if Horde leaves, game over, hands down, right? If Test leaves, obviously Test has most of the infrastructure here. It's obviously over. Test leaves, right? So if one of those two groups leave, I think it's game over. Let's look at smaller alliances, right? Let's say, I don't know. Let's say PL is like, you know what? Fuck it. Headliner's tired of running fleets every day and everybody else not showing up. It's their theory, right? And says, you know what? We're leaving. We'll leave some jump clones here. Let us know when you want to get serious. Would it be would the war end? No, but would it
It might
stall
swing
any?
the Titan numbers.
Yeah, you'd lose a lot of.
If
Titans.
anybody takes Titans out, then that's effectively them leaving, right?
And yeah, well, PL and NC may be small. Their Titan numbers are not. So
No, PL Titan fleet's very strong, right? So I think PL leaving would be detrimental. And there's a couple other groups, right? Like, let's say nobody leaves, and we hit September, right? And everybody gears up, wants to start getting serious again. Like I said earlier, I think Pappy has all the FC talent necessary to win. They have. I can't get into numbers here because I'm not gonna leak known numbers, but they'd have the Dreads to win. They have the Titans to win. They have the pilots to win. Just do they have the wherewithal, the Constitution to say, okay, we're willing to feed X amount and try to win? I can't answer that question for you. That was right now they don't. That's as a collective. Right now they don't. That to me, if they can't ever get on the same page and say, hey, we're willing to put everything on the line here, absolute everything, and if we lose and we go back to fucking drones or low sec with nothing, if everybody's willing to go in on that and sell it to their line members, I think off regardless of which side wins, right? And then you'd have an actual war of extinction. And as far as I know, I'm not going to say who, but only one of the main alliance leaders in Pappy has expressed to me their absolute willingness to do this. Basically, put every freaking penny of ISK on the line. I'm not going to say who, but out of let's say the main 5 or 6 alliances, only one has said to me, "Hey, I'm I'm willing to end it here. If we die in fucking Delve, we die in Delve. So until I think until you get the rest that are willing to publicly say that, I don't think Pappy can win. The people are there, but you got to get all the leaders on the same page. Goons, it's a lot different.
On the same
Goons
page.
just have to not lose. Like they have it. There's a lot of defenders' advantage. It's not going to go tactically, but psychologically, they're the ones being invaded. I mean, all the memes aside, like all I have to do is not lose. And if in 2 years this everybody's still in T5 and 1DQ, I'd say Goons are doing really well. I'd say all the other alliances are probably, I don't know at what point you say, hey, this is it, we're leaving, but
I don't know. Like if we're still here in 2 years, which I think is unlikely, but not impossible in a crazy world, I think that will have definitely shown. How do I put this? But A, that there's something broken in this game, but also like B, that that'll be have 2 years where Goons will have just been burning through everything they kind of own bit by bit.
So this is Deloitte here. The guy, it's my idea. I apologize. It's all my fault. But just to piggyback off of the idea and the mentality change that needs to happen, it has to become an objective focused game. I mean, not to rose picture Kashganistan, but that was exactly what Bob and Bunny and all of the other guys focused on, and post-mortem after every fight was, okay, well, why did we lose this? Well, we started going for kills versus the objective, and we had some really great objective based fights that worked out really well, and then we had some really good just slaughter fests. But the call was made at the beginning of the fight, and it goes, okay, well, what's our objective here? Is it actually just to slaughter things, or is it to get the objective? Because once you make that call, you have to stick with it. And I've seen several times over the last 2-3 months where that shift has happened mid-fight. They go, oh well, there's a ton of people here. Let's just fight. And they totally abandon the objective. You saw that in big fights where like Tech 2 right on the border of Fountain, where they switched to just slaughtering things, and then we had to regrind the entire iHub and faction fort scenario for a week and a half. And until that shift happens, you're not going to see Pappy succeed, and that's unfortunate. But I think that there's some great minds that think that way. They just have to get everybody else on board, and then it's just going to be a slaughter of Goons once that shift happens.
So it's just a different mindset away. That's the takeaway.
I think Goons have found their winning strategy. They got mostly the right people. I think some people shouldn't be allowed to ping. It's really cringy reading some of their pings. I'm not going to name names, but if you want, I'll give you a list, Bill, after this. But just because it's just you read really dumb pings, right? You're just like, man, like I would purge that guy if he pinged my alliance. But
we're self-aware.
Yeah, y'all should police that a little better.
But
I think Goons have a currently winning strategy, mostly adapted well, sometimes slower than others. Winning's not even right. Let's call it not losing. I mean, they're full commit on this whole. Clearly, right? We're not going to evac thing. So they've drawn their line in the sand. Finally, they get moved a few times, but this is actually the line in the sand. I guess it's 3D and 1DQ. So, and Pappy has to go. They have to put. Now they can do some behind the lines kind of deal, right? Somehow take like what's that? Those back system pockets, right? The Satios used to be. I guess there's still one. Then maybe they can crack in that way. But Pappy has to attack to win, hands down. You can't. There's no other way to do it. Like Goons have everything they want right now, and they have jump freighter activity. They can still get in and out of Delve. Mostly from what I see. I see jump freighters coming in and out pretty often. So it's not like they're actually blockaded off. It's not like Troy, right, where the freaking Trojans were trapped for 10 years and nobody get in and out of the city. In this case, we just moved up next door to the beach, and the Trojans still have a freaking port, and they can send ships in and out. Nobody's shooting the ships. So I think I'm not talking high sec yanking. I mean, if Pappy could actually lock down jump freighter traffic in Delve, I think that'd be a big move, but I haven't seen it happen. So, but other than that, they pretty much got to crack 1DQ or crack 3D. Somewhere in the pocket, they got to, do what the Velociraptors did in Jurassic Park. You got to find a hole in the fence and get after it.
and this is Trash Talk Tuesday, so and I rarely talk to Billy, so I want to ask him this: if this is a war of an extermination, why not cut off their TTT-esque? I mean, honestly, if you're really trying to siphon and pull up the siege, why keep feeding them money?
Spicy.
The same reason that it's always been. First off, the war of extermination thing isn't what it actually gets memed as by goons. Because the TTT was not meant to be part of nullsec politics. That's kind of the way the agreement was written. And because, to be blunt, if we, how do I put this? It's the same reason they haven't attacked it. They're not afraid. They're not sure they can kill it, and we're not sure we can defend it as well, right? It's an important discourse for us too, right? Towers and HiSec are not, how do I put this? Not what people think they are. Perhaps the best way to say it. And
no, that's fair. I just hadn't heard anything on it, so I appreciate it.
It's right next door to Jita, so I mean, with clone stations, there's just be an endless fucking river of just ships to destroy whatever it was. Okay, cool. Glad that I killed the conversation with that one.
So I mean, it's always one of those weird ones, right? Like, there's so many different, like, I don't know how to put this, like,
like
wow.
strange truths about the way the TTT is run that.
Billy, do you want to cut him off? Would you if you could?
I don't know. Like,
hey, would you?
What just happened to?
If you could be assured it wouldn't die.
A bunch of nerds in.
I don't know, honestly. My assumption is I would probably keep things pleasant and chill, but the reality is the tower just works better when it's, giving money to basically everybody. And if you start trying to pussyfoot around the situation and, do underhanded shit or whatever, like, it just doesn't work, right? The reason the TTT works is because it's such a evil blue donut, as you say, and everybody can trust in everybody else's greed, I guess.
Do you not think keeping all of your alliance in T5 while you hand goons is from perimeter would be underhanded?
Do I say that again? Sorry.
Do you not think keeping your entire alliance in T5Z while giving goons ISK from perimeter is underhanded?
Underhanded? No.
I mean, you're like throwing guns over the walls to the city besieging, basically.
We're giving them money, yeah, but much like the way it works, how do I put this? If we're in a situation where that money was the only thing keeping them in the war, then we could definitely make a different discussion based on this hypothetical.
Is that money the only thing keeping you in the war?
At one point, it certainly was.
Is it now?
Probably not.
Why don't you unanchor it? What bigger fuck
just
you?
give away all that free money.
Damn.
I mean, you want to show commitment to cause. You want to show commitment to cause. Say fuck goons. Take the Keepstar down.
Bob, do you need both of your kidneys?
Unfuel it.
Yeah.
I'm asking you a question, Bob. Do you need both of your kidneys?
No.
I mean, right now the
really
TTT is effectively, to a degree, a golden goose, right? And as long as it is properly fed with diplomatic agreements and properly managed, it will continue to, drop eggs that everybody in Eve will get to enjoy.
Why would you give eggs? So to me, right, I'm gonna say, let's say you're I don't know how to relate this to everybody
because
else.
Because the TTT builds in some eggs to give to the wolves, so they'll stay the fuck away.
Let me tell you how I see things. All right, if I'm playing a fucking soccer game, right? No, I'm in a cage match with somebody, and there's a bottle of water rolled into the cage. I'm gonna get to me, I've been fighting the other dude for a long time. I'm gonna get the bottle of water. I'm gonna pick it up, look the guy in the face, and pour the water out right in front of him. Neither of us gets it because I don't need the water because I'm tough, and he's not gonna get the water because he's my bitch. That's what I would do if I was you.
It's not how cage matches work.
Is it not?
No.
That's how
Like,
every
in
cage
this
match I've ever
specific
seen
scenario,
works.
it is.
That's how hydration works, though.
I don't know if that analogy really works.
No, it tracks. It's because he's saying
Welcome
like
to Trash Talk Tuesday, where we teach you how to drink water.
he's literally saying like if you
so
are
thirsty,
if you're
bro.
fighting this person,
Oh man,
why are you gonna let this person have water? And
Because that
if
also
you,
means I get water.
You don't need water. You need to kill
You-
him. That's what you need to
yeah,
do.
you don't need water. You need fucking victory.
You need to win.
Yeah.
And if
do-
you
do
can
think it's
survive
easier-
without water longer
so
than
if I
him,
get 2 bottles, I'm not gonna like. This analogy doesn't work.
it's a good analogy.
There's so many real world analogies you can actually fucking use, by the way.
Billy, I think
here's the thing.
unanchoring perimeter Keepstar would be the most ballsy thing anyone's done since the M2 whole timer. Hands
Here's the
down.
thing.
It would be more ballsy than M2 breakout.
In a normal cage match, after the fight that you're talking about now, where you're able to pour out this water, you don't immediately go out and fight whoever's next. You know, you have some respite, some maybe weeks before your next fight.
Thank you.
So-
I don't know what
those
kind of
words
cages. I'm
wisdom.
talking
Why
like
are
middle
two
of a fight, dude.
competitors watching each other
no,
pour
Marius.
out water, dude?
No, we're talking the middle of a fight, dude. Marius, your understanding of this sucks. I don't know what you do, but you don't fight. Billy, okay, there's a bottle of water. You
Damn.
can get the water. You can fucking what? Give it to the other guy or share it with him, or you can take it and just pour it out and say "fuck
Bro,
you."
so
Scorched earth,
thirsty,
dude. Billy, this will be the most ballsy ass. I mean, this feels like how I talked all the beginning of this year to you, and I'm like, hey, we should do this. We should go win. And everybody was like, oh no, we can't win because goons are good. And then we went and won just repeatedly, got all of our Titans out of Into, cracked Helm's Deep, took all those constellations that Nidaspar and all the fucking losers that were too scared to fight didn't want to go try to. I mean, Billy, I'm telling you, you want to prove something to the whole Eve universe, unanchor the TTT. Say, fuck it, I don't need it. Fuck all the shit talkers. I mean, fuck all the haters. And you just put it away. After the war, you put it back up. It'd be the biggest ball move, dude, I've seen in months in this game, if not all year.
I'd say go a step further and unfuel it.
Feel like
Yeah, that would be fun.
So that you can impress Brother Bob, okay?
Not only would you
Very
kill
important.
Goon's revenue source, you'd probably kill the servers and the game with it.
Oh, I'm aware of what would likely happen.
How would you kill the servers in the game?
Because so much shit would drop.
So many people
you mean
try to
from
kill
the...
it.
Yeah, it'd be like an asset safety of epic proportions. Once again, I'm not interested in doing that. Like, I honestly just the people I care about, funny enough, more than anyone in this conversation, is the people who gave their trust, I guess you would say, to
I don't know,
Gotta-
Bob. This is sounding
gotta-
surprisingly European to me.
I don't know.
Word
dude.
this one.
You're really dancing here, Billy. It's kind of
No, sorry, I'm doing something else. So like all the people who've put their faith and their trust in the structure and done business there.
so. Just make an announcement. It's coming down in a month,
I'm still lost on the water.
dude.
analogy,
Billy, we
bro.
got like 270 caps out of Delve in like 72 hours. Surely the rest of the game can evac TTT.
Bob, this is a dumb
cross-grid.
discussion, and I can guarantee you it's not happening. So I can save you the time.
Well, okay. That's the kind of defeatist mentality that's not going to beat Goons, man.
Also, Bob, we're bees.
This is
If you put
arguably one of the
water on
dumbest
ground,
conversations I've ever had.
We'll just go drink it.
Well, bees, your roaches. Bees are useful. Goons aren't.
Just don't get the punching another dude in a cage match, and then you pour a bottle of water out while he stands there and watch.
Look, the analogy tracks. Okay,
You gotta flex.
I don't think
You
it
have
does.
to.
I just think
You have to
the
break.
the
You
only
have
thing
to.
I'm getting is y'all fucking thirsty in this chat.
Why
You have
saying y'all?
to. You have to basically like. You have to take yourself out of your box and put yourself in
Phrasing.
a different box,
Also, phrasing.
and you have to thrust your brain
fuck up. Shut
into
the
the
fuck up,
box
Redline.
and out
You
of the
can't say
box.
thrust when we're talking about thirsty. Shut the fuck up.
What?
This is Bill's show now, Redline. You're not in Pappy. You're not in Imperium. So therefore, you cannot join the Pappy Imperium War Talk stream.
The
Damn.
boss.
And just
All
like
right.
that, the viewer count plummets.
Damn.
No, we picked up a few viewers, I think.
Damn it, Bill.
Real
Redline's
Rain,
the
the
only
Rough
one
Rider.
keeping the viewer numbers up? Is that what we're saying?
So,
It's Bob.
like,
We all know. They're all here to listen to Bob.
that's just so disappointing that NC and friends are just checked out for 3 months.
I mean, that was leaked, though.
Europeans, man.
They talked about our alliance meeting on TIS. Of all the fucking alliance meetings you're gonna broadcast to the world, why is it gonna be the one where you tell everybody you go on break?
Well, they probably didn't expect anybody to believe it since it was on TIS.
What they did ours in Gobbin's town hall back to back. Fuck,
I
y'all
mean, are
covered it on
we-
the meta show.
Hey,
How-
if you
You
wanna,
guys get town halls?
what really
not
bothers
often.
Vince is if you leak stuff. Just like, I'm not saying leak massive logs, just like, record meetings or it really upsets him, and it's on Reddit. I
Just
found
ask
this
Loki
out.
about leaking. He knows what
Yeah,
happens.
he loses his mind, which is really funny. He
So
could just
are
embrace
we-
it, but
I lose my mind for what?
We're
No,
full
ask Loki
we're
about
f-
leaking
we're
things. He knows
full
how that ends up.
scorched earth on NC, right?
When did I leak something?
I'm
What?
joking, Loki. It's just you leaving
we
Shiva.
could be.
The
I don't know,
whole
Redline.
What is
Yeah.
something
Love
that
you,
you've
man.
wanted to leak that you feel comfortable leaking right now?
I mean, I think I'm just gonna keep that to
Go
myself.
Go ahead, Free. The floor is yours to say. One thing you've just been like.
I mean, I
fighting
can
to make
probably
its way
leak
out.
funny stuff, but you're not like there's gonna be no juicy stuff or like grand plans, like
Obviously, there is no grand plans.
Yeah, I'm not gonna leak the plan to do nothing for 2 more months. Wait.
I'll leak this that the support backbone for the FCs in NC and the suppliers groups and things like that are some of the best organized groups I've been in this game. As far as like making sure everyone has ships and things, it's been insane to be a part of that group. And I shout out the people who are part of that group and who know they are a part of that group. I'm not gonna say them names, but like they know who they are, and it's insane how quick. And it's been a testament to NC's deployment ability over the last several years, how quickly they can throw up an entire, thousands of contracts to have everything ready to go in 24 hours across the globe. It's kind of nuts. That's my leak.
I will defer my leak to Philly. I want to know the decision to jump in at M2 whole timer.
He
I was at
already
work.
answered you. He said
No,
that
he said-
he said it was a group decision.
That's bullshit. Somebody really pushed for it, and everybody else clearly failed to be like, "Hey, dude, that's a dumbass idea." So Philly, what's up, dude? Like the Titans are already dead. I don't see a problem talking about it. Yeah. So I expected.
Apparently you are in. Apparently he does not want to answer the question.
Well, Bob, who in NC decided not to jump in and let them go first to see what happens?
That I don't know about, dude. I was legit at work. I don't know. I joined, and it was. I guess there was some. I don't know. I lost a carrier. Like I jumped in, but I wasn't involved in the 3-4 hour early discussion. And if there was some way to jump in command or delay, I don't know. Maybe Bunny was in command comms. I was not. Billy was, but he's being mum.
In the end, it was a group decision. We all take blame for the things that went wrong with those events. That's just how it works. No individual was, responsible. We all had opportunities to say things. We all had opportunities to try and change the course. We didn't, and we, succeeded and failed together.
That's a really safe answer. And having been in Happy Comms, I don't know, hundreds of times, I don't know, dude. It was somebody's idea. Somebody pushed for it.
You know who jumped into UALX?
I did.
Who?
I did.
The call was for Headliner to make the call, but Doom Chinchilla piped up. Nobody's forgiven him since, and he quit the game. Karma's a bitch.
To be honest, UALX wasn't actually. Yeah, that was terrible. I remember when it happened.
I had a Titan logged out there until late March.
Yeah, that's a good. How come? Why did y'all? Whose decision was it, and why did y'all not decide to log back in after downtime? Like we were having a solid fucking fight. Like that was a legit fight for that. I know that the Keepstar was actually the Keepstar was ref. So why did y'all?
That would be why, is because traditional. Whenever you have these ancient FCs who fight the same way no matter what, it's shit like this, right? Like you fight
decision.
up to you fight
that
up.
One was definitely a group decision,
right? And so you don't Once you accomplish the objective, you don't have to show back up until the next timer, unless, of course, we all logged off 30 kilometers below where the keep star is. But
or if you're in shitty armor TFIs and tie-dye. I mean, what kind of fucking dumb idea was that? To take these 20-second rate of fire ships into like 1 to 10% variable tie-dye. Dude, we shot like 6 ships in the last 2 hours of the whole timer. It was the dumbest shit. We should have taken some high rate of fire ship. But I mean, I wasn't involved in that. I was like, it started as a Euro timer, right? So I wasn't involved. But that was a really fucking dumb idea from the NC team to take TFIs into that shit. And then they all died.
Well, the funny thing is about M2 Part 1, nobody really thought that was going to turn into the big Titan fight. Like, I remember Vince had the conversation with me. He's like, you ready to go? We want to do this? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, we were ready to play ball. Like, but nobody thought that was going to be the time that it was going to happen, right?
I thought it was going to be YZ9.
Yeah, I kind of remember when that happened too, and I thought YZ9 was much more. But as like YZ9 would have resulted in a reverse M2 Part 2 for us, right? Like if they would have jumped in, where we had jumped, because if you remember, we jumped in our Titans because we were like, okay, we need to get our Titans in now because they'll never load if we wait.
Which makes the whole second timer thing on the M2 astounding, because we literally sat there and laughed and laughed and laughed because they made a bad call not necessarily. Well, no, we'll call it a bad call. A call in unstable server conditions, and then we turned around after punishing them for it and made the same fucking call.
But so much worse.
Well, I mean, it was just at a different scale, right?
That is entirely.
We did it supers. We did it supers fighting supers. Y'all like the M2 one is Titans versus like Titans fighting Titans. You know what I mean?
Titans fighting Titans and supers at 0 on the fighters instead of just somewhere else that isn't on the fighters.
Billy can tell you how many times it took us.
As much as goons like to talk about how that was terrible to jump in on the fighters, there was no other option. Otherwise, we were jumping in directly in range of Titan Doomsdays, and I can guarantee you, not a single Titan would have survived that one.
Below the bubbles.
Well, that's where the Titans were, right? So we would have been eating Doomsdays instead of fighters, and we would have died a lot quicker to Titans.
You could have come in out of range and been able to snipe the bubbles off.
Jesus,
yeah, but we were going for
bubbles with Titans.
Yeah, that's.
We did actually on the way out.
Yeah, that's true. Dude. But it's much more like looking at it from perspective. Like at the time, we were thinking, okay, we got an hour, we'll jump in, we'll give ourselves enough time to hopefully load here, and we'll eat some losses, but we'll be in a position to take the fight, and obviously that's not how it went. But
no, there's plenty of people that can testify that I was pissed because everybody thought that y'all are actually coming in above the keep star, and I said no, that would be fucking stupid. They're coming in below the bubbles to snipe them off.
Well, if we came in that one's the stupidest of all, because there's no reason to come in at all if we're coming in to snipe bubbles.
To get your Super Titan fleet out that's stuck.
Why would we do that when you are literally set up there with 5,000 people?
Because you'd be out of range. Like you just kill the bubbles and then.
But the two Titans, the supers logging in wouldn't be.
I mean, Asher brings a good point. Don't warp your Insinos in uncloaked, and we wouldn't know where to move fighters.
I think there's a storm right then, right?
There was not a storm. I know exactly why that happened.
Oh, do tell.
I'm not leaking that.
Oh, come on. You can't say
that. Nope.
Wow. PM it to me, I'll leak it.
You said specifically that you were not leaking DMs and private conversations. Was this a DM or a private conversation?
Yeah, technically, yes, that did come from a DM. Because the person...
Was it from a DM from someone who's here right now?
No, but I don't leak DMs. Okay. I've DM'd people who have DM'd me have done it in confidence for a long time because they know I won't leak anything out of it. Fuck. Asher DM'd me whenever we were leaving, and I just won't tell you what he said.
Well,
I just know that he did.
Redline, right. I got a dip, dude. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for making the show great again.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. Billy, thanks for talking to me after disappearing after you fed 400 hacks. Goons told you all how to win. Happy told you how to win. Everybody else take care. Catch y'all later.
And see you later, viewers.
Well, we are getting more excited to see the fallout of all of this.
Oh god, I am not looking forward to checking my DMs in the morning.
Was that everything you hoped for, Blazing? This roller coaster
I-
get you to the fun destination?
I tell you? I told you whenever we were sitting on the other comms before we moved over. I'm like, if Bob is coming on here, it's gonna get out of hand fast. And was I wrong?
Ride or die,
It
man.
wasn't
Oh,
out
that's
of
what I said.
hand.
I said all for one.
Yup.
Well, since you're
We
all
gotta
here,
follow our sociopath.
make sure you vote for Redline 13 for CSM 17. By the way,
God no, I'm writing in Blazing Bunny.
come on,
I'm
dude.
not.
Just...
I'll tell you, like I told the guy who told me that I was.
I
Gonna be
voted
running
for
the next
you.
time. I'm not. Definitely not fucking running again, ever again.
Why not?
Because I just. So it's the same reason I didn't run this time. Is I have zero desire. I don't really have an abundance of faith that they take what the CSM has to say seriously. And I asked a couple people beforehand if I should run or if I should bother, and a couple people, and a vast majority of them, including some current or previous CSM members, said, "Dog, it's not even worth your time." So I didn't.
So you're bailing on me on Vegas and our dual campaign now?
I thought
You
we were
didn't tell me
doing a
about the
dual
dual
campaign.
It's a joke, Red.
I
Stop
might go.
being jealous.
Bill,
I
if
might
he-
go to Vegas. I don't know. I haven't decided if I'm not going to go to Vegas or go
You
to
should do
Vegas or not.
Vegas. It's fun.
Well, yeah, I know it's fun, but
Sugar dad me, Bill. Take me to Vegas.
Well,
Jesus.
you know what Corp is? That's kind of technically RMT, isn't it?
see,
Well-
y'all.
RMT.
If y'all enjoyed that so much, y'all should join your own corps. Well, I mean, if assuming you're all Americans, because we have a strict no Euros rule in Sinners, and you should apply to Sinners. Because we get to deal with this kind of stuff.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, Lois can attest. We get to deal with this every day. The analogies get even more wild once you've been around them for a while.
It was a good analogy as well. Like, it was actually a good analogy. I'm
not
saying
even
that
talking
was-
about.
So deep.
I'm not even talking about the
It was
water
way
bottle
deep.
one. Like I'm talking about the other ones throughout the rants. It was
Water bottle one doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
so.
you hang out.
some of them. Not all of them are tens, but a lot of them are, and you get some really off the wall analogies.
You hang out with Bob. You get to hear his rants. You dye his dog purple. It's great.
Well, so unfortunately, we've run our course for the night.